everything that's going on in the Football League this evening. Also the goals in the other Champions League playoff first round legs. The fans know it, and you know it at home. The whistle is about to blow to get us underway. 180 minutes, possibly a little bit more of Champions League football to come if extra time is needed in the Netherlands next week. No away goals in these Champions League ties. Daniele Orsato, the referee, already making his presence felt. He's telling John McLaughlin that his Blue Rangers towel cannot sit in the back of his goal in the net. It has to go beside the goal. That has been dealt with. We're underway. Former Scotland international Pat Nevin sitting alongside me. Long ball forward from the Rangers captain Connor Goldson up towards the Croatian centre forward Antonio Colak, and it's gone behind for a PSV goal kick. What an atmosphere to play in, Pat.
Yeah, it's one of those nights that you know you go home and about 2 hours later your ears will still be ringing. But those Rangers fans won't care a jot as long as they get a win at the end of this. And very noticeable right at the start, PSV turned Rangers round. No club likes being put out like that. And if I was a club and I was a captain and I won the toss, I would do that every single time to the home team.
Rangers in the light blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops. They are playing from left to right in this first half, having been turned round as Pat describes, and they are shooting towards the Copland Road end, away to our right. Early goal in the Championship, 7:45 kickoffs. Another goal, in fact, at Swansea. Laura Kenyon.
Swansea 2, Millwall 0. The striker Michael Obafemi twisting, turning, lost his marker, edge of the area, fired home. Swansea are on fire in these first 15 minutes. Swansea 2, Millwall 0.
Rangers 0, PSV Eindhoven 0. Heading to Carrow Road shortly. Norwich struggling at the start of this season, already 1-0 up against Huddersfield. I believe there's been another goal. Chris Coles.
There has, Ali, and it's another for Norwich. Perfect start for them. Daniel Sinani, who spent all of last season on loan at Huddersfield, tiptoeing past the goalkeeper, smashing in with his left foot. No Pookie, no problem for Norwich. 17 gone. Norwich 2, Huddersfield 0.
Mansfield 0, Wimbledon 2 in League 2. Right, almost 2 minutes played here at Ibrox. The rain seems to be easing ever so slightly. Maybe that's just my imagination. The noise certainly isn't. Joey Veerman, 23-year-old Dutchman in central midfield for PSV. I'll get you through the two-team lineups in just a second. Has played the ball back into their back four. Little step over from Luke de Jong for the pass forward. That's going to run through to Rangers goalkeeper John McLaughlin, who's all in bright orange. Gives it a good hefty clout with his right boot down the middle of the field, and that breaks nicely in the centre circle. But Rangers have lost it. The young American Malik Tillman on loan from Bayern Munich, not able to keep possession. So PSV, Ruud van Nistelrooy, the manager, already out on the edge of the pitch, all in black raincoat, black baseball cap, a dark black beard on the chin as well. Stephen Davis in to win a tackle. That'll be a PSV throw on the left-hand side. Early thoughts from Pat Nevin.
Yeah, teams probably just have to calm down and get used to this atmosphere. I mean, they play a lot of football, but you don't actually get this sort of noise that often. So a little bit of excitement at the start. They just need to try and get their games together. The Rangers at the moment, each time they've got the ball at their back, they've just lumped it a bit aimlessly, and they're better than that. I'm sure someone else says that to you.
Yeah. On occasion, Pat. 3 minutes gone. First half. Rangers 0, PSV 0. Danger man Cody Gakpo on the ball. John Lundstrom runs with him, takes it off him, but PSV still have it inside the Rangers half. Played back to Jordan Teze, who's normally right-sided centre-back for PSV this season, starting at right-back this evening. Cross in, aimed at de Jong! Right foot volley over the crossbar. That was early danger for Rangers. They've survived it, 0-0.
That's poor defending. They've got 3 defenders there, and they've only got one man to mark, and he gets ahead of all 3 of them. It's a good ball into a dangerous area, but when you've got 3 defenders marking one man, someone's got to get in front. Rangers got off there, and they're very fortunate they got away with that.
Ball played into Lundstrom from John McLaughlin from the goal kick, short on the edge of his box. Back to McLaughlin, wide to James Tavernier. Loves to get forward down the right-hand side. PSV invite him to do so. Crosses the halfway line. Plays the little 1-2 here with the Welsh international Tom Lawrence, although having not played for Wales since March of last year. But this move, I imagine, he hopes will spark a return to the national team. And Rangers have worked it nicely down the left-hand side. Can they get some delivery in from Ryan Kent? Beats his man, cross comes in just beyond Colak, stuck out a right leg, couldn't get a touch on the ball, and PSV haven't quite got it clear. Ryan Kent is holding the left-hand side of his face as he challenged for the ball. Felt he was caught. Rangers have won it back. Here's Kent. He's going again. Offside flag up against Kent, who I think was still recovering from the after effects of the knock and therefore was in the offside position when the ball was played forward.
A classic one. Interesting to see how referees behave, you know, from different countries, different readings of the games, and even in the Premier League this season so far, there's a lot more being let go. It looks like a referee at the moment is going to let things go a bit. A couple of robust challenges there. Nope, he wanted them to play on. The most interesting thing for Rangers though, Ryan Kent gets the ball once, straight at his defender, gets a cross in. That's big for them.
Yeah, that's up against Jordan Teze. John McLaughlin in goal for Rangers. Rangers fans booing and jeering because PSV taking their time over the free kick. Their goalkeeper, the Argentine Walter Benitez, slams it down the middle of the pitch. Goldson wins the header. It drops to Tom Lawrence in central midfield. Nice little turn from Tillman. Can't quite get away. And there's the Ivorian international Ibrahim Sangare playing the ball forward for PSV, but now they come back into their own half. Andre Ramalho, very experienced Brazilian 30-year-old centre-back in the starting lineup this evening. Nice bit of interplay, but Rangers have managed to get hold of the ball and they've come back to their goalkeeper, John McLaughlin. So McLaughlin in goal, James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, the American James Sands alongside him at centre-back, Borna Barisic, the Croatian, at left-back. Stephen Davis, 37 years old in central midfield, has come into the side this evening, only his second appearance of the season. John Lundstrom and Tom Lawrence either side of him. Ryan Kent and the young American Malik Tillman with Antonio Cholak through the middle. Tavernier closed down quickly. Not sure he wanted that ball. That was Goldson who tried to clear it. Not sure he wanted it from McLaughlin. Luke de Jong closed it down. Rangers have won the throw.
That's actually a very good point. Kelly was asking at the start of the programme about the decision of which goalkeeper he make, and I did forget to add the point. McLaughlin's good with his feet, and then he'll play it out for the back maybe a little bit more. And that's big for Rangers. They want to do that. They don't want to give the ball away easily. They've usually got Morelos up front. They haven't got him this time. But if you play the ball up front, you know, from the back, you usually lose it against decent opposition. Hence, trying to play it from the back, but they nearly got out there.
PSV's goalkeeper Walter Benitez, all in dark green, away to our right, closed down quickly by Cholak. Good pressure from Rangers. Ryan Kent has Ramalho under pressure. PSV managed to bring it away, but Kent is back to take it off Teze. That gets a big roar, as you can hear from the home fans, and Rangers try and turn it into an attack. First leg of the playoff round in the Champions League. Next leg next Wednesday night in the Netherlands. Winners of the tie through to the group stages. Celtic already there this season, of course. Champions League draw for that group stage a week on Thursday. Lincoln won up at Oxford United in the Football League this evening. Again, defending to do here for Sangare for PSV. Clears with his right foot. Barisic is onto it, driving into the PSV penalty area. Ball is hastily hacked away into the Rangers half, and Connor Goldson is there to get it back to his goalkeeper, John McLaughlin. Goal in the Championship at St Andrews. Kelly Summers.
Yeah, Watford 0, Birmingham 1. This one's come against the run of play, but it was a lovely breakaway move on the right-hand side. Hogan pulled the ball back to George Hall, who slotted home. Birmingham 1, Watford 0.
8 minutes gone in the first half. Rangers 0, PSV 0. Brilliant ball from Goldson, curling away to the left-hand side. Ryan Kent just about brings it under control, then has a run at Teze again. Can't quite get past him. Very slippy pitch, and Kent ends up on his backside. PSV start to bring the ball away down the right-hand side. Pass into Sangare in central midfield. He's 5 yards outside his own penalty area, and he floats the pass with his right foot wide to the left. Philip Max collects, controls, and plays it to Cody Gakpo, who's an imposing figure. Starts wide on the left. At the moment, he's in a central position. They've got height up front. There's Luke de Jong. De Jong looking for the little one too, with the 21-year-old Moroccan Ismail Saibari making only his 7th appearance for the club in this big game this evening. Saibari plays it across to Sangare, cross into the far post. Philip Max is going to try and get there, gets a touch on the ball, can't keep it in, and it's behind for a goal kick to Rangers. They're going to go quickly. McLaughlin slams the ball down on the floor, knocks it short to Tom Lawrence in the right back position. Back to Goldson, first time and long, up towards Cholak. He's beaten in the air by Armando Obispo. PSV work it to the left, and here's Philip Max with the bright, short, peroxide hair. Pass forward, can't be controlled, throw in Rangers on the right, Pat Nevy.
Yeah, the big thing for Rangers, we mentioned Tavernier before the start of the game. But the one very Dutch thing that they do, when they've got the ball, they widen the pitch. Kent gets his heels on one line, and Tavernier, although he's right full-back, he will hammer up that line and make it as wide as possible, and that's where they look most dangerous right from the start. When they go through the middle, Čolak's not really able to hold the ball up. They need to reach Čolak when it comes from wide first, when they get to the byline. At the moment, they've got there once or twice, and that looks Rangers' most dangerous area.
Flick on from Ryan Kent, looking for Čolak. He's just beaten to it by Obispo. Ball back to the goalkeeper, the PSV keeper, Benitez. Hurried clearance with his right foot straight out for a throw-in, and Rangers very keen to take these restarts quickly. Here they come again down the left-hand side. Tillman moving at speed, trips over on the edge of the box, no free kick. Eric Gutierrez, the Mexican, in central midfield for PSV Eindhoven. He was the one who scored the 89th minute equaliser against Monaco last week that took that third qualifying round tie into extra time. Luke de Jong popping up at the far post in extra time to win the game. Stephen Davis, little pass forward towards the halfway line. Can't find Čolak. 10 minutes gone in the first half. Rangers 0, PSV 0. Goal at Turf Moor. Naz Premji.
Burnley 0, Hull City 1. Ozan Tufan raced forward after the flick on from Oscar Esketupinen, and it's a terrific finish from Tufan into the bottom corner. Burnley 0, Hull 1.
League One, Exeter lead Wycombe by a goal to 0. Northampton 2-1 up now at Crawley in League Two. Rangers in possession. James Sands plays across to his centre-back partner Connor Goldson, very calmly across to Tavernier. The ball zipping quickly across a very damp top surface. Immaculate pitch though here at Ibrox. Thunderous noise. If you have just tuned in, that absolute bedlam is us live inside Ibrox for this Champions League playoff tie. First leg, Rangers against the former European Cup winners PSV Eindhoven, who won that trophy under Gus Hiddink back in 1988. A lot of Rangers possession inside their own half. Goldson didn't feel the ball down the right-hand side to Tavernier was on, so he's come back to his goalkeeper McLaughlin. PSV just step off here, so Rangers are able to slowly bring the ball up towards the halfway line. Barisic almost lets it wriggle away from him, then plays a low pass to his left. Kent, full of tricks early on, has come a little bit deeper. Right-footed pass low, back to Sands, just inside his own half. Tavernier high up on the right-hand side. He's got his left arm out, he's calling for it. Cody Gakpo is back there covering, can't intercept the pass. Tavernier tries to control it, Gakpo's back, wins the tackle, throw in for Rangers.
It's kind of a little bit bitty at the start of the game, but there's a reason for that. It's because it's been played at a high tempo. Not a lot of space in that midfield area. It will calm down at one point.
Gakpo trying to get away from Goldson, has the pace to do so. John Lundstrom desperately trying to get back for Rangers. Danger for the home team here. Edge of the penalty area. Saibari dribbling, lays it off to Fearman. Fearman slides a pass through, takes a deflection. McLaughlin quickly off his line, and he's able to grab the ball with both hands on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, it makes a lot of space. Gakpo, when he runs with the ball, you know, he's really comfortable on it. He just took 2 or 3 players out by dragging them towards him, and when they all went towards him, there was a gap in the far side, the right-hand side. I think there was a chance for a PSV shot there, didn't take it.
12 minutes gone in the first half. Goldson across to Sands, another goal at Ashton Gate this evening. 7:45 kickoffs in the Championship. Chris Wise is watching Bristol City against Luton.
And another one for Bristol City. They're 2-0 up against Luton now, made by Vyman. Conway, the youngster, the academy product, couldn't miss from close range. This is apparently a team short on confidence. Bristol City 2, Luton 0.
Thank you, Chris. PSV throw-in, just short of the halfway line. Right-hand side, Rangers 0, PSV Eindhoven 0. De Jong has dropped a little bit deeper, their giant centre forward. Curling pass out towards Philip Max. Not a good ball from Gutierrez, he couldn't control it. Another huge roar from the home fans as the ball came off his shin and goes out for a throw-in to Rangers. Tavernier stolen a few yards here, just creeping away from Ruud van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy and Van Bronckhorst, former Dutch teammates, of course, for the international side. Van Bronckhorst is a player, Champions League winner in 2006. Van Nistelrooy wasn't quite able to do that. Semi-finalist with Manchester United 2004 when they lost to Bayer Leverkusen. Rangers have won a throw high up on the left-hand side. Again, the ball comes to them quickly. Ryan Kent throws it quickly. Tillman takes it on his thigh, feels he was fouled, gets the decision. Free kick for Rangers. and a chance for a first proper attacking set piece. Pat Nevin.
Yep, dangerous area, and it's tempting for Tavernier to go over there, but maybe a bit early in the game for him to do that, so someone else will take it over on that far side there. Very noticeable that the ball boys are getting the balls back very quickly. They've been told to move it quickly, and that tells you that the Rangers manager Giovanni van Bronckhorst feels that his players are quick enough and they're fit enough, and they can keep this high tempo up for a long time, maybe longer than PSV.
Free kick then from wide on the left. Tom Lawrence will take it. Just wipes some perspiration from his brow with his left forearm. Could be rain, could be sweat, probably a mixture of the two. The referee, Daniele Ossato, just having a word with all the players gathered on the edge of the penalty area. Antonio Colak, 3 goals in his last 3 games for Rangers, bouncing on his toes on the edge of the box. Lawrence, that looks like good delivery. Powerfully headed away, goes out for a Rangers throw on the left.
Yeah, that is a good delivery. Although it was clear, it gets over the first man, and they're having to go backwards, so defenders don't like that. They dealt with it, but that's not what they want. And of course, it's a skizzy surface, it's a skiddy ball tonight. They have to get everything right in that back line, and it's an important part of Rangers' game.
Cambridge United 1 up at Portsmouth in League One. Rangers haven't made the most of the attacking throw-in on the left-hand side. They've lost the ball, throw-in for PSV. And just to go back to the Champions League record of Ruud van Nistelrooy, never won it. He's still the 6th top scorer in the competition. He's scored at a frightening rate, 56 goals in this competition in 73 games, Pat.
Phenomenal. And we think about it, okay, there are some games in the Champions League, if you're playing with a big team against some of the smaller teams, you can make hay. However, it's the Champions League. They don't give goals away that easy.
Tavernier heads the ball down the right-hand side. Tom Lawrence can't keep it in, out for a throw into PSV. Midway inside their own half. I think you'll all know who the players ahead of him on that list are, but just for the record, Cristiano Ronaldo 140, not bad. Lionel Messi 125, Robert Lewandowski 86, Karim Benzema 86, Raul 71, Thomas Muller, closest challenger to Van Nistelrooy, still playing on 52 for behind him. Tavernier jumps to try and win a header. Goldson's behind him, launches it forward on the half volley. Nice work from Sangare in midfield for PSV inside their own half, and then Veerman curls a wonderful ball out wide to Saibari, the Moroccan. Barisic trying to get back, he's in his way. Low cross, hits the legs of Barisic. Lundstrom is able to volley the rebound away. Colak side puts a little volley pass to Ryan Kent. Rangers fans feel he was pulled back. The referee agrees. That will be a free kick to Rangers.
He has to be careful there. I mean, that's a pull back around about the neck sort of area. The referee's had a little quiet word with him, but that was a dangerous moment. It's a couple of times now there's been a gap in the left-hand side, Rangers' left-hand side. Barisic got out of position. I think Sabari should have done a lot better with that. His first touch was poor, so he didn't get the chance of, well, even a shot. He could have got a shot even from that angle with that much space.
Mansfield have a goal back at home against Wimbledon in League 2. Mansfield 1, Wimbledon 2. Daniele Ossato was trying to let the play go there, give Rangers an advantage. He's come back for an earlier foul. Free kick to Rangers inside their own half. Reporters at all the games in the Championship this evening. Birmingham leading Watford by a goal to nil. Bristol City 2-0 up on Luton. Hull 1 up away at Burnley. Norwich 2-0 up on Huddersfield. Swansea lead Millwall 2-0. And the other games that I haven't mentioned in the Championship remain goalless, as does this one. Rangers 0, PSV 0. Ryan Kent's having a good evening down the left-hand side. Slips the ball down towards the byline. Tillman's tackle. Kent is there to pick up the clearance. Clever step over. Another step over. Trying to beat Teze down the right. Teze's strong though, stands in his way, and eventually the ball goes behind for a goal kick to PSV.
Well, it's a couple of times Ryan Kent's got the ball on the left-hand side there. He's beaten a man, but hasn't got the cross in. I'm not complaining about that. That's fine. You have to keep on doing it. You only need to do it once or twice. Get by into a good area. You can get beat, or you can, not get the final pass in 4 or 5 times. But if the one you get in counts, then you've done the right thing. So his confidence tonight is very, very high. I think he's been looking forward to this game.
Goal kick for PSV. Goalkeeper Benitez takes his time, eventually plays it low to the left. Max the left back. Gutierrez under a bit of pressure. Lovely flick from Gakpo. De Jong tried to return it. Rangers have intercepted. Tavernier driving forward, and he was caught. And Rangers have a free kick.
He's done well, the referee. That's 2 or 3 occasions now where he's let the advantage go. Rangers have tried to play on, but he's very quick to bring it back as soon as they lose possession. So far, so good from the referee.
Another goal at Turf Moor. Naz Premji.
Burnley 1, Hull City 1. Ian Matson down the left-hand side, crossed the ball in, sliding in the old stager, Jay Rodriguez. Burnley 1, Hull City 1.
MK Dons, in terms of points, yet to get off the mark this season. They've taken the lead at home against Port Vale. Rangers free kick here at Ibrox. You're listening to it here, Rangers PSV on Radio 5 Live, also available on the BBC Sounds app if you're on the move. High free kick into the box. Connor Goldson jumps for it and the ball comes off a Rangers player and goes behind for a PSV goal kick.
Well, it's nearly 20 minutes gone and there's not a great deal in it. Maybe slightly more openings for PSV. You know, Rangers putting a little bit of pressure, taking a few chances with the fullbacks going forward, leaving just the odd gap. But there's very little in it between the teams now, and at the moment you're beginning to think, okay, Rangers, you know where you want to get the ball, you want to get the ball wide, but when the ball goes up to Cholak, he's got to hold up a little bit, and he's not been able to do that at all so far. I suppose he would say to you, the quality of the ball hasn't been that good.
He was the man, of course, who scored 2 very important goals at this ground last season, but not for Rangers, for Malmo, to knock Rangers out of the Champions League qualifiers at that stage. Of course, off they went into the Europa League and got all the way to that final in May. Pat was there, eventually losing it to Eintracht Frankfurt on penalties in Seville. Rangers have the ball inside their own half. 0-0 against PSV Eindhoven. Barisic is able to just tiptoe forward, fires a low pass to Kent. Kent gives it straight back to him. James Sands, left-sided centre-back for Rangers tonight with the short-shaven dark hair, plays it across to Goldson. Goldson with the red tops of his socks above his knees, back to Sands. Sands traps the ball under the studs of his right boot. Little 1-2 with Lundstrom. Lundstrom, one of the ever-presents for Rangers so far this season. In the first 5 games of the season, they've won their first 3 in the Scottish Premiership, trail Celtic on goal difference. PSV have won the first 2 in the Eredivisie as well. 2 informed teams. Lundstrom goes long, high, looping ball down the right-hand side. Tavernier jumps to try and win the header, nods it to the edge of the box. Cleared away by Obispo with his left foot. That goes out for a throw into Rangers' attacking position on the right. Pat Nevin.
That's very brave from Rangers the way they played out from the back there. You know, we all watched Manchester United down at Brentford, and the amount of times they were caught out there. Rangers were under massive pressure. They're doing their best, and they want to drag the PSV team in a little bit, because when they're dragged in too much there, then the gap's open.
Stephen Davis gets it to Tillman, hits the first shot of the game. It's low, straight at the goalkeeper, and very comfortably saved by Walter Benitez. Almost came out of nothing. Mistake at the back by PSV, and Tillman just couldn't get the power or the direction on the shot. Yeah,
it was actually between his feet. You know, you couldn't get any real power in it. I think that had happened maybe 15-20 minutes further on in the game. He probably takes another touch, gets it out of his feet.
James Sands on the ball on the halfway line for Rangers. Rangers 0, PSV 0. Goldson up towards Lawrence, lays it off to Davis. Davis, good ball wide to Tavernier. Rangers fans hopeful as a high cross comes in to the far post. Tillman is there, controls it with the outside of his right boot, has support from Barisic behind him. Barisic, cross comes in, headed away to the edge of the penalty area. Good pressure building up from the home team here. Stephen Davis on the ball, 35 yards out in the central position. Lundstrom across to Barisic. Now played wide, there's Tillman. Kent is tucked inside this time. Tillman hangs on to it, beats a couple of players, comes back to Sands. Sands across to Goldson. Rangers stringing a good move together. PSV doing the chasing, they can't get the ball at the moment. Here's Lundstrom. Across to Barisic again. 10 yards inside that PSV Eindhoven half. Lundstrom back to Goldson. Goldson works it onto his right foot. Little straight pass up the channel to Tom Lawrence. Lawrence lays it off to Tavernier. Tavernier moving at speed, comes in from the right, finds Lundstrom. They're just trying to pull PSV side to side here and then deliver the quality ball. That comes in from Kent into the near post. Cholak challenges for it. The ball runs away from him. He's now looking to win a corner. That's a hacked clearance. Second clearance comes from Ramalho. Lundstrom heads it back to Sands on the halfway line, and Rangers will start to build again, Pat.
Well, you don't need me to tell you. You can hear from the Rangers fans, this is what they want to do. This is how they want to play. That width I was talking about, you see the 2 wide players. so far out, you can almost not see Kent in the distance over there. But that width that they're creating there is creating gaps.
Tillman, first time ball round the corner to Cholak. Cholak controls it, back to Tillman, just gets it caught underneath his feet. Still going, angles tight for him, dribbling away, and then it runs away from him and goes behind for a goal kick. Our featured game in League One tonight is Peterborough against Sheffield Wednesday. Sahil Sahi.
Well, it's still goalless here, Alistair. 7 minutes to play in the first half, but Sheffield Wednesday are down to 10 men. Reece James sent off, straight red card, late and very high on Joe Ward. Peterborough 0, 10-man Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Pat Evans just taken one of the headphones off his away from your ear, Pat, just to actually sample the noise for it. It's unbelievable in here tonight.
It's non-stop. I mean, we said before the game, the football club had actually asked the Rangers fans to make as much noise as possible. It's been ridiculous any time they've done it, and it's helped the Rangers players. I don't think there's any doubt about that, because when they have done the things that the manager wants them to do, they have been able to play forward, they have gone into those areas. The reaction they've got, even if there's not a shot in the end of it, it's really lifted them.
One shot so far for Rangers for their efforts. They've had a good last 5 minutes. Tillman with a weak one straight at the goalkeeper Benitez. They're back inside their own half. Barisic's pass is intercepted, but Tillman picks up the loose ball. Thousands of Rangers fans screaming at Stephen Davis to get it moving as quickly as he can. Plays it to Tavernier. Davis in support. Davis up the middle here to Tillman. Davis continues his run. Tillman is crowded out. Knocked off the ball, but fairly. Chance for PSV to come on the counter. Saibari lays it off to Fearman. Saibari, the Moroccan, makes the run, tried to be clever with a back heel to find Fearman, couldn't do so. Barisic onto it for Rangers. 1-2 with Kent. Now his back heel has worked. Here's Kent moving infield. Great pass. Tom Lawrence on the edge of the box. Rolls it round the corner to Tillman. Advantage being played here. Tillman goes wide, hits the shot, and behind it goes for a corner. Rangers will get the corner and not the free kick on the edge of the box, because Orsato played the advantage.
I tell you what, the referee's hilarious. He's got his hands out to the crowd saying, "What do you want me to do? I gave you an advantage there. You've got a corner out of it anyway." But what the Rangers fans know, if they get a free kick from 22, 23 yards out, they've got a man in Tavernier. It's not far away from a penalty kick for him. And that's why the Rangers fans are disappointed. However, good moments there, lively play, and as you say, a good period for Rangers just now.
Tavernier coming across to take the corner. Exeter 2, Wickham 0. Mansfield have got it back from 2 down against Wimbledon. That's now 2-2. Stevenage 1, Rochdale 0. Tavernier with the corner. Deep one towards the far post. Goldson with the header. Rangers fans are up for a handball. Orsato, the referee, spotted it, and he's tapping his shoulder, and I think also saying that the defender's arm was by his side.
Yeah, that's certainly how I saw it there. We'll be having a look at it, I suppose, in the VAR, but that would have been very, very harsh on PSV there, because he knew nothing about it. It was a good, powerful... Ooh, what's happened there?
Gutierrez is down. PSV's Mexican midfielder. Everyone stopped, froze like statues, waiting for the referee to make a decision, and the free kick has gone to PSV. Charlton 2, Plymouth 0, latest in League One. These games approaching half-time, 7:45 kickoffs, apart from the 8 o'clock at Loftus Road, QPR against Blackpool, and Bolton lead Morecambe by a goal to 0 in League One. Rangers 0, PSV 0, 27 minutes gone in the first half, and the two teams are sort of feeling each other out for the first 10 minutes or so, and now Rangers have really stepped it up. Up on the screen, potential penalty check, it says VAR. The VAR is another Italian, Massimiliano Irati, and I was just waiting to see if the referee was coming over to a monitor, but no, that has disappeared. No penalty. They had a look, as you said, Pat, and decided that the ball may well have struck the top of the arm, but we've not got the monitor here. No penalty.
To be fair, I think the referee's got just about everything right so far. It's a fast-moving game, but he's part of the reason why it's a fast-moving game. He's let it flow a little bit, but just that injury there, I didn't see any bad tackle by a Rangers player. I thought it may have been gone over in his own ankle or something, and that's what the Rangers players were suggesting as well. Anyway, the game's moved on. We won't need a water break because they've been soaked.
Yes, Pat was working on Sunday like I was. Pat was at Stamford Bridge. I was at the City Ground. I'm not sure I've ever been so hot at an English football stadium ever.
I know, I've never. Oh, unless I was playing.
PSV have taken a throw on the right. Poor clearance from Teze, intercepted by Stephen Davis. Malik Tillman's got nowhere to go. He's nudged in the back by Sangare. Didn't need to do that. The Ivorian international has conceded the free kick to Rangers and they take that quickly. Goldson on the ball inside his own half. Luke de Jong stands in front of him. Goldson passes it to Lundstrom, back to Goldson, chased by de Jong. De Jong sticks at that. Goldson's shirt is being tugged, being wrenched away from his body. He complains. De Jong goes back at him. Bit of eyeball to eyeball. And Daniele Olsato, the referee, he's very... what is the word, Pace? He's determined, knows his own mind, gets in there, very definitive about things. Strong blast on the whistle, in he comes, makes his point.
He's very controlling of it. But so far, well, I'm going to say it's not an annoying way. I think there are a couple of Rangers fans that are a bit annoyed. But he is controlling the game. And sometimes referees can control the game and ruin the game, but it's not like that. He's trying to let it flow as much as possible. That was a free kick. De Jong was definitely pulling Goldson's jersey, but Goldson shouldn't then push him back. So he's telling him to calm down. Other referees would have been a little bit carried away. He wasn't.
As long as you don't react like Darwin Núñez did last night.
My jaw hit the floor. I could not believe it. Almost had to see it a second time to think, did you try and backhead him? And then when you failed in that, I'll just do it. I'll just nut him.
Half an hour played at Ibrox. Pat Nevin alongside me in the commentary position. Rangers 0, PSV 0. Available on BBC Radio 5 Live if you're on the move on the BBC Sounds app as well. That's where you'll find the Football Daily podcast as well tomorrow morning. Cholak chasing a back pass here to the PSV goalkeeper Benitez. Long clearance with his right foot. Players tangling for it just short of the halfway line. Lundstrom slides in bravely to win a ball cleanly. Couldn't find Tillman with the pass. PSV trying to build some attacking play inside the Rangers half. Here's Philip Max, the left back. Quick pass on to Gakpo. Gakpo runs at Tavernier, works him onto his right foot. Cross comes in. Goldson heads it away. PSV have it again. They've not had much possession in the last 15 minutes or so. Here it comes to Gakpo. Chests it down wide on the left. Flicks it over the head of Tavernier. Collects it the other side. Tom Lawrence slides in. Takes the ball off him. Concedes the corner.
That's one of the first times I've seen Gakpo on the ball there. Under a little bit of pressure there. But he's got some skills. He can play. A bit young, yeah, and he's got to fill out a little bit, and he's up against a very, very good player in Tavernier. But that boy's got some skill.
In terms of the Champions League games this evening, FC Copenhagen, I see a goal up against the Turks Trabzonspor. Rangers 0, PSV 0. To Carrow Road shortly. Corner for PSV. Gakpo takes it with his right foot. Headed away by Tillman. Kent chases it. Two PSV players in the red and white striped shirts in front of him. They get the ball back to their goalkeeper, Walter Benitez. Half-time score starting to come in around the Football League. Lincoln has scored a late second away to Oxford in League One. Luke de Jong leaps high above James Sands, wins the header. Backward it goes. PSV have it just inside the Rangers' half. Sangare with his right foot looking to get Saibari away, but it's beyond him and through to John McLaughlin. Right, Carrow Road, Chris Coles.
Norwich 2, Huddersfield 0 at half-time. As comfortable a half as Norwich could wish for, looking for their first league win of the season. They're well on the way to it thanks to Josh Sargent's header and Daniel Sinani's composed finish. Huddersfield's best moments, all from range. They need much more in the final third. Norwich 2, Huddersfield 0.
Rangers 0, PSV 0. Again, Rangers some defending to do. We're in the last 15 minutes of the first half here at Ibrox. Philip Max plays it to Gakpo. Gakpo uses his pace to go on the outside. Goldson heads the ball away. Falls to the feet of Tillman. Clever little nutmeg pass to try and find Kent. Sangare is able to scoop it back as he's lying on the floor. Gutierrez plays it to Max. Work back to the centre-back, Obispo. Obispo with his left foot to Gakpo. Knocks it through the legs of Tavernier. Collects it the other side. Gakpo into the penalty area. Tries to cut it back. Tavernier's back there. Intercepts, and PSV have another corner.
Beginning to see it now from Gakpo, aren't you? You're really beginning to see it. Tavernier spent his whole time pushing up the field, making sure that he doesn't have to defend against him. He's had 3 balls against him in the last 2 or 3 minutes, and each time Gakpo's got the better of what is a very good defender. This is a really good battle just between those two.
Yeah, he flagged it up before the game, Pat. Gakpo with the corner. Oh, it's a miscue from Tillman, and luckily it skips past his right boot and ends up in the arms of his goalkeeper, John McLaughlin. So many times you see that shanked into your own net.
Do you know, that was almost like a cricket shot. Just completely missed it. He'd have been stumped in that point in time. I think that's what his goalkeeper did. Total miscue. Yes, it zips off the ground, but you can't complete. Well, actually, he's lucky he completely missed it, because if he touched it at all, it was an own goal.
Portsmouth 1, Cambridge 1. Late equaliser for Portsmouth in the first half. Charlton have a third late on in the first half at home against Plymouth. Our featured game in League 2, Barrow-Walsall. Stephen Wyatt.
Barrow lead Walsall 2-0, a consequence of astute recruitment and set-piece quality, scoring twice from corners inside 12 minutes. The first headed in by Man United Academy product Tyrell Warren. The second by Chelsea loanee Sam McClellan. So out of sorts for Walsall, they made 2 changes before half-time. Barrow could replace him in second tonight. They lead 2-0.
Thank you. We'll get to these half-times as quickly as we can whenever we get a break in play at Ibrox here. Still got just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half. PSV having a good spell. Champions League playoff round. First leg. Rangers 0, PSV 0. Winners go through to the group stages. Estimated earning your club £40 million, as well, of course, as the prestige of playing in the Champions League group stages. Quickly to Turf Moor. That's Premji.
Game. Ozan Tufan opened the scoring for the visitors. Lovely run and shot into the bottom corner. Burnley's response, Jay Rodriguez sliding in to connect with Ian Matson's cross. Burnley 1, Hull City 1.
PSV breaking play up inside their own half. Luke de Jong, captain and centre forward, with his left foot. That's a good pass wide to Philip Max. Van Nistelrooy, the coach, pointing down the line to Gakpo. Gakpo didn't make the run. He did get the pass in the end, and he plays it back into his own half, and Gakpo's just drifted infield a little bit, Pat.
Yeah, I don't know why, because he was having a little bit of joy out wide there. I think these nutmeg that he had on Tavernier, he realises the next tackle might be a trifle solid. Actually, Kent did the same with fullback. He's playing against Tezzi just a few moments afterwards. I think that's Kent saying, whatever you can do, Gakpo, I can do.
Yeah, brilliant battles between left wingers and right backs this evening. Rangers 0, PSV 0. Great cross from Philip Max. Goldson's there, comes off his shin, and behind it goes for a corner. Quickly to Ashton Gate. Chris Wise.
Half-time, Bristol City 2, Luton 0. Naki Wells with a crisp finish. Tommy Conway with a tap in, both in the first 28 minutes. But Bristol City have led in every game this season and not held on to it. They need to alter that trend. Bristol City 2, Luton 0.
Gakpo comes across to take the corner for Rangers. He is 6 or 7 yards in front of thousands of Rangers fans in that Broomloan Road end. Dummies to take it. Does it at the second attempt. Ball's bouncing around the 6-yard box. It's in. Sangare scores with his left foot. Rangers couldn't get it clear. Sangare seemed to have an absolute ace to strike it. John McLaughlin couldn't see it, couldn't say it, and Rangers are behind at home. Rangers 0, PSV 1.
Oh, that's painful. Just in front of those Rangers fans there. It was a good corner into it's a slightly dangerous near post area. It just wasn't cleared, and it just bobbled about a little bit in the middle there. Just a little bit of luck. It fell to Sangare straight in front of him. Very little to do. Just get his laces through it, and he puts it in the back of the net. There's no good time to lose a goal. But just when Rangers had a good period, PSV came back, had 2 or 3 minutes, got down the left-hand side a couple of times, led to that corner kick, and they lead. And it's maybe slightly unfair in Rangers, but the game has ebbed and flowed. Rangers have to think, OK, they can score, we can get one back.
PSV lead by a goal to 0. Half-time at St Andrews. Kelly Summers.
Birmingham 1, Watford 0. 18-year-old George Hall's first Birmingham goal on 19 minutes is the difference at the break. Watford have dominated chances, hitting the post and seeing an effort off the line. But as it stands, Birmingham could be ending Watford's unbeaten start to the season. They lead 1-0.
Somehow the noise seems to get even louder. Rangers fans right behind their team, as you'd expect. Means so much, this tie, to them and to PSV. PSV have the advantage if you just tuned in. Ibrahim Sangare, the Ivorian international, scoring with his left foot. Scruffy goal from a corner. Here's Goldson. Brings the ball under control with his right foot. Next break in play will take to the Liberty Stadium. Half time in the game between Swansea and Millwall. Tavernier's cross in is behind Cholak. Ball is volleyed away up towards the halfway line. Barisic chests it down. Good strength to hold on to it. Plays it to his left to Tillman. Tillman's closed down. Rangers win a corner.
Yeah, they could do it. Heading back right away. They've got a corner kick of their own from Rangers' left-hand side. See if they get the quality in. And they are powerful attacking corner kicks, and they need the likes of Barisic to go and attack it. Goldson is phenomenal there as well. So those two have to make their presence felt.
Corner for Rangers will come in from the left. Tom Lawrence just pulls his socks up before he takes it, wants everything to be just so, kicks a little water bottle away that's in his way. He's going to run up a very slight incline just off the pitch onto the playing surface. Daniele Ozzata, the referee, making his feelings known as well before that loud, shrill blast on the whistle. Lawrence with his right foot, and it comes to the near post. Doesn't beat the first defender. Fearman is able to head it away. It comes back to Lawrence, finds Kent. Kent whips another cross in, flick towards goal. Easy save for Walter Benitez on the half volley as the ball bounces in front of him. Right to the Liberty Stadium, Laura Kenyon.
Swansea 2, Millwall 0. Two beautifully worked goals straight out the blocks. Ryan Manning and Michael Obafemi on the score sheet. Millwall hit the crossbar once, not offered much else. Red sky here tonight, and to Swansea's delight, they lead Millwall 2-0 at half-time.
PSV have given the ball away. Barisic onto it quickly, plays it wide to Ryan Kent. Kent tricking onto his right foot, dummies across, back heels. On the outside is Barisic. Jordan Teze read it, makes the tackle, goes out for a throw to Rangers. Again, they take it quickly, trying to build the momentum again just before half-time. 6 minutes of this first half remaining. Rangers trailing PSV Eindhoven by a goal to nil. Goldson to Tavernier. Tavernier with the outside of his right foot. Little flick finds Lawrence. Lawrence is followed by Gutierrez. Back to Tavernier. Clever touch with his left foot to move the ball away from Philip Max. Lawrence to Davis. Looking for Tavernier. In behind. There's the cutback! There's the goal! Antonio Cholak does it again for Rangers. Fabulously worked down the right-hand side. And have a listen to what that means inside Ibrox. Ibrox explodes. Rangers 1. PSV 1.
I'll give you a moment to join that noise because it is loud and it's deserved as well. That is a brilliantly worked goal. We're talking about Dutch classics and those sort of goals that they score and playing the ball with real goal 1-2s. Well, that was a classic of its type. We talked right at the start of the game of the importance of Tavernier. He was core to it, wasn't he? 2 or 3 1-2s on that right hand side. They get to the byline, and when he gets to the byline, he puts it to Cholak, who's done the square root of nothing just now. But he's not paid to do anything else than score. He gets his chance and he puts it away.
The thing I love about that goal as well, Pat, beautifully worked, and you know VAR is not going to get involved. No chance. Goal. Brilliant.
As clean can get.
Rangers 1, PSV 1. We've not heard from Aaron Paul yet this evening. He's at Deepdale watching Preston Rotherham. Aaron.
Preston 0, Rotherham 0. They've huffed and puffed Preston, but the ball won't go into the back of the net. Troy Parrott has found the best chance of the game, played through on goal after some sumptuous build-up. He had too much time to decide where to go and saw his effort saved by Johansson. Connor Washington has been Rotherham's best player, but at the break we remain goalless.
Take you to Peterborough shortly. Half-time in League One. Peterborough against Sheffield Wednesday. Had a man sent off in that first half, but we've got to see what Rangers can do with this free kick. 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half. The roof's come off. Rangers have their equaliser. Can they get themselves in front? It's 1-1. Free kick coming from deep. Wide on the left. Lawrence delivers it into the edge of the box. Handball shout against Luke de Jong. And Daniele Ozzata, the referee, waves that away again. Another one for VAR to have a look at.
Well, don't take the free kick. Give it the throw in quickly. Just slow down. See if VAR wants to have a look at that one. I mean, I suspect the hands were probably, and we've not got a monitor here, the hands did seem to be close to the body. It might have touched it, but not away from the body.
They've had a quick look. Osato was right. He blows the whistle. We're back underway. Gakpo's putting Goldson under pressure. Awkward bouncing ball inside his own half. Hoiks it up in the air. Ball drops to Saibari. Side puts it down the line to Fearman. But the pass is misplaced. It goes out for a throw into Rangers wide on the left. Peterborough, Sheffield Wednesday half-time. So Hale side.
Yeah, 0-0, Alistair. Peterborough going closest through Jack Marriott. His effort blocked superbly by the visitors' defence. Sheffield Wednesday were on top until a dangerous lunging tackle by wing-back Reece James on Joel Ward resulted in a straight red. It's far from dull. Half-time, Peterborough 0, 10-man Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Funny thing with this game, Pat, is when you're a reporter at another game, you're always worried about a giant roar in the background in case it means something's happened. One went up there just for Rangers winning a free kick on the halfway line.
Yeah, good luck trying to figure out what these noises mean, because you're right. I mean, the fans have been noisy all the way from the start, and they reacted brilliantly when Rangers lost that goal, and it's helped them.
Tillman quickly on to Kent on the left-hand side. Rangers seizing their moment. Barisic with the cross wins another corner. It really has ebbed and flowed this first half.
It has done, but psychologically, the fact if it was going to 0-0 at half-time, you know, you wouldn't get a great lift if you're Rangers, because you're 1-0 down and you've got to go back. They'll be going in, buzzing just now. Unless, of course, they get another one in the next minute and a half, which they could do because they've got a corner.
Stand by. Corner for Rangers. Short option is Ryan Kent. Tom Lawrence is the man to take. Cholak is making a run at the far post. They go short, though. Kent with the step over, plays it back to Lawrence. Different angle on the cross. In it comes to the penalty area. Headed away by Sangare, the goal scorer for PSV Eindhoven. Rangers have it on the left. Want a free kick. Get a throw instead, I think. Is that the decision in the end?
Yep, looks like it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wonder, a minute to go before half-time, well, a minute to go before the board comes up. Surely no more than 1 minute. This game has not stopped, has it?
Throw in for Barisic. 1-1. I'm sure Rangers fans will feel they need a lead to take to the Netherlands next week. So impressive at home, Rangers in Europe. Obviously more tricky when they're on their travels. Tavernier has it on the right-hand side. Played the pass for the first goal. This time lays it back to Stephen Davis. Cross comes into the box. Flick headed to the far post. Couple of headers. It goes beyond Ryan Kent, who was lurking. He's able to keep it in by the byline, wide on the left. That board's about to go up for added time at the end of the first half. Another cross comes in from Barisic. Tavernier with a header. Couldn't get the power on it. Straight at Benitez, who makes the save.
They do not want half-time to come now, Rangers. They're playing so well at the moment. Since they're a 2 or 3 minute spell, maybe a 5 minute spell, as much as that, and then PSV scored. But apart from that, the past 25 minutes or so, Rangers have been the better side by a distance.
Rangers 1, PSV 1 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Champions League playoff round, first leg. Ball headed forward, flicked on by Kent. Cholak, challenged by Gutierrez, goes down, doesn't get the free kick. Jordan Teze, the right back, having a tough night against Ryan Kent, plays the ball wide to Saibari, the 21-year-old Moroccan. Comes back to the Brazilian Ramalho, one of the 2 players in the PSV lineup to play with the thick black headband, tying back the long silky hair, the other one being the Mexican Gutierrez.
Yeah, you best to tie your hair back these days. Apparently you're allowed to get away with getting your hair pulled.
And we've got about 10 seconds remaining in the first half. What a first half it's been. We hope you've enjoyed it. Rangers 1, PSV 1. PSV taking the lead with Sangare. Fabulous equaliser from Antonio Cholak. Pat Nevin, what a game.
Yeah, we're expecting fireworks. We're expecting a high-tempo game. We're hoping for some quality. We've got bits of quality as well. But it's a European night. It feels like a real Champions League night at Ibrox Park. They've not let us down at all. I can't wait for the second half just now. It'd been so unfair in Rangers had they gone down. Gone in here, 1 goal down. I'm really delighted for them. That's fair at the very least to be going in equal.
Quick thoughts from Roddy Forsyth.
I would imagine PSV will be deeply unhappy about the manner of the concession of the equaliser, because if they had done their homework and looked at the Union Saint-Gilloise game last week, when Rangers drew level in aggregate, it was an identical goal. Tavernier to Cholak, exactly as we saw there.
Half-time at Ibrox. What a game, what a noise. Rangers 1, PSV 1.
Back there very shortly, because there's been a goal at Loftus Road. Flo Pollock.
Just before the break, Blackpool have taken the lead. A curling effort from Josh Bowler. It's QPR 0, Blackpool 1.
Thank you very much for that, Flo. Of course, we're keeping you up to date with everything that happens in the EFL this evening. But a huge game in the Champions League at Ibrox. Rangers 1, PSV Eindhoven 1, as we've been hearing. Pat, the goal for Rangers, as much of the timing of it was important, the way it was worked, as Roddy said, it was reminiscent of the one that pulled them level in the previous round, but it was a beautifully worked goal.
Yeah, I mean, you did talk to me. You asked the question. I'll let the listeners know if they weren't tuned in. You asked about Tavernier before the start of the game, and you're right. He's fabulously important for Rangers, because even though he's a fullback, and we all know these days fullbacks are wingers as well, but his power, his running, his timing of it, his involvement of 1-2s, he gets there. Cholak, he will get headlines because he puts the ball in. But to be fair, he'd done almost nothing else in the entirety of that first half. But he put the ball in the net. I have a suspicion that he might have got the hook quite soon after half-time had he not scored that goal. But now, typical centre-forwards, he's the hero. But it was a beautiful goal, not just for the finish, but for the build-up. It was class.
It is very much game on at Ibrox. We'll be back there for the second half. Pat, can't wait for it, and neither can we. But 10 minutes or so to go until that one. This Saturday on 5 Live Sport, we've got full commentary of Everton against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League at 3. Then it's Bournemouth Arsenal at 5:30. Plus, there's the fastest goal service up and down the football leagues across the UK, with all your results and reaction in Sports Report from 5. You can join Mark Chapman and the team from midday. 5 Live Premier League on Sunday with Steve Crossman has commentary of Leeds at home to Chelsea at 2, and that's followed by Newcastle against the champions Manchester City from 4:30. There's been a goal at Barrow. Let's catch up with Stephen Wyeth.
A goal inside 90 seconds in the second half, Kelly, and hope for Walsall, who were completely outplayed in the opening 45 minutes. Could have been worse than 2-0 down, but they've got it back to 2-1. Across from the left-hand side, one of those awkward in-swingers with the right foot that nobody knows how to deal with. And League Two's leading goal scorer, Danny Johnson, he knew exactly what to do, followed it all the way to the back post and bundled it in to make it Barrow 2, Walsall 1.
And the halftime whistle has gone at QPR. Flo Pollock.
That's right, Kelly. QPR trail Blackpool by a 1-0. It's been a physical and fast game. I'd say QPR were on top, and they will rue their lack of clinical finishing, because just before the first half whistle, ex-QPR man Josh Bowler curled in an effort to give Blackpool the lead. Half-time, it's QPR 0, Blackpool 1.
Loads of football this evening, and on 5 Sports Extra we've got commentary of the men's 100 where the Manchester Originals are taking on Welsh Fire. At Old Trafford for us, Alison Mitchell.
Where Originals, Kelly, are on track to get their first win of the season, unless Dwayne Pretorius and Matt Critchley can pull off something spectacular, because Originals have Fire 6 wickets down already, and they still need 72 runs off these last 33 balls. Wickets spread around the bowlers, including one for Mitchell Stanley, who has been clocked at 90 and 92 miles per hour tonight, doing it with some pace, but set 150. Welsh Fire really struggling. They've lost 6 wickets. They still need 72 off 33.
Thank you very much to Alison Mitchell. And in the women's 100 earlier, Manchester Originals beat Welsh Fire by 11 runs. England have made one change to their team for the first test against South Africa, which starts at Lord's tomorrow. Wicketkeeper Ben Foakes is fit after missing the win against India in July, so he replaces Sam Billings, and there's extensive coverage across the BBC with Test Match special commentary on air from 10:25. There'll be video clips, text commentary on the BBC Sport website and app. Plus, there'll be TV highlights at 7 o'clock on the BBC iPlayer. Regular updates from right round the matches taking place in the EFL throughout the evening. Plus, we've got the men's and women's 100-metre finals coming up in the European Championships, and the second half of Rangers against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League. That's coming up after the latest news on 5 Live with Juliana Cassidy.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Labour's accused the government of offering no solutions to the rising cost of living, as official figures show wages have fallen in real terms by record levels, despite average pay growing by 4.7% in the 3 months to June. Buying power actually fell by 3% when inflation was taken into account. The High Court's heard that ministers who backed plans to send asylum seekers to Rwanda were warned by their own independent advisor that the country's government tortures and kills political opponents. The concerns were raised weeks before the Home Office tried to send asylum seekers to the African nation. Ukraine has hinted that it deployed special forces to mount an attack on an ammunition dump in Russian-controlled Crimea this morning. Earlier, Russia's defence ministry acknowledged that saboteurs were behind the explosions. And tributes have been paid to the pop idol star Darius Dinesh, who's died at the age of 41. After reaching the final of the TV singing contest in 2002, he spent a decade performing in West End shows, including Chicago and Guys and Dolls.
Essential football listening. More live Premier League football than anyone else. 111.
Plus, get BBC Sounds to catch up or download podcasts, including Transfer Gossip Daily and the Football Daily.
Big names and big debates, 7 days a week.
Proper Football with Chris Kamara and Ben Shepherd.
A new podcast where huge sports stars tell us what it's really like to be a footballer. You don't want to miss it.
Like the time you missed that red card, Kemi?
Give over.
And coming soon, Jermaine Defoe, Outside the Box. Essential football listening is right here.
They're rattling in the goals and they're racking up the points.
Including more live Premier League football than anyone else.
Get your football fix. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Sport with Kelly Cates.
And your essential listening this evening is the second half commentary of Rangers against PSV Eindhoven in the playoff first leg tie in the Champions League. It's live from Ibrox, where the score is 1-1. We're also keeping you across everything that's happening in the EFL. We're at every match in the Championship. Let's go to Turf Moor. It's Burnley against Hull and Naz Premji.
49 on the watch, Kelly. Burnley 1, Hull City 1. Terrific game. This Ozan Tufan's great opener for Hull. Jay Rodriguez sliding in the leveller. And just a few minutes ago, Oscar Estupiñán, the Colombian international striker, sent through left-hand side. He just couldn't get the ball away quickly enough, and a Burnley defender cleared off the line. Burnley 1, Hull City 1.
7:45 kickoffs everywhere apart from QPR against Blackpool, which was an 8 o'clock kickoff. Let's head to Carrow Road and Chris Coles.
Norwich 2, Huddersfield 0, and Huddersfield's task has just got a lot tougher. They're down to 10 men. Centre-back Tom Lee sent off, denying a clear and obvious goal-scoring opportunity. A straight red. He pulled back Josh Sargent as he was racing through on goal. Norwich well on their way to a first league win of the season. With 53 minutes played, they lead 10-man Huddersfield 2-0.
At St Andrews Forest this evening, Kelly Summers.
And it's Birmingham 1, Watford 0. Second half just underway. Kelly, Watford's unbeaten start to the season could be coming to an end. George Hall gave the hosts the lead in the first half. A lovely move from Hogan on the right. He pulled it back for Hall to score his first ever goal for the club. Watford did hit the post and see an effort off the line, but no avail for them so far. Birmingham 1, Watford 0.
Bristol City taking on Luton. Chris Wise.
7 minutes into the second half, Bristol City 2, Luton 0. Wells and Conway with the first half goals. Luton have made 3 changes at half-time. Musgrave, Freeman and Clark all on for Nathan Jones's team. Bristol City 2, Luton 0.
And at Swansea Millwall, Laura Kenyon.
Swansea 2, Millwall 0. First chance of the second half went to Millwall. Billy Mitchell forcing a fingertip save from Andy Fisher. Really physical contest. It's Swansea 2, Millwall 0.
And at Deepdale for us, Aaron Paul.
Preston 0, Rotherham 0. Preston have begun this half like they ended the last. On the front foot, Robbie Brady has just seen his cross flash across the face of goal. From this angle, it looked like it was heading in, but the deadlock remains intact. Preston 0, Rotherham 0.
In League One, it's Peterborough against Sheffield Wednesday. Sahel Sahi.
0-0 here, Kelly. 5 minutes played in the second half. Sheffield Wednesday down to 10 men. They've just had a good chance. Will Volks, with a fantastic right-footed drive, was well saved by the Peterborough goalkeeper. Peterborough 0, 10-man Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Elsewhere in League One this evening, Barnsley are 2-0 up against Bristol Rovers. Bolton leading Morecambe by a goal to 0. It's Burton 0, Ipswich 0. Charlton 3-0 up against 10-man Plymouth. Exeter 2, Wickham 1. Fleetwood 0, Cheltenham 0. MK Dons 1, Port Vale 0. Oxford 0, Lincoln 2. Portsmouth 1, Cambridge 1. And Shrewsbury 0, Derby 0. In League 2, at Barrow Forest, Stephen Wyeth.
Walsall much better since the restart. They've got that goal back. It was one of the late first half substitutes, Tom Knowles, who delivered the cross for Danny Johnson to score. Barrow, though, continued to lead Walsall by 2-1.
Elsewhere in League 2, Colchester are drawing 0-0 at home to Bradford. It's Crawley 1, Northampton 2. Crewe 1, Sutton 0. Doncaster 1, Stockport County 1. Gillingham 0, Harrogate 1, Grimsby 0, Carlisle 0, but that game has been abandoned. Hartlepool 0, Tranmere 0, Mansfield 2, Wimbledon 2, Wimbledon down to 10 men in that one though. Newport 0, Salford 0, Stevenage 1, Rochdale 0, and Swindon 1, Leyton Orient 0. We're going to catch up with what's happening in the National League as well, because it's a busy night there too. Boreham Wood 0, Aldershot 1, Bromley 0, Torquay United 0, Chesterfield 2, Wrexham 0, Eastleigh 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Halifax 0, Southend 0, Gateshead 1, Notts County 0, Maidenhead 1, Altrincham 0, Maidstone 1, Dorking Wanderers 1, Oldham 1, Wealdstone 2, Woking 1, Scunthorpe 0, and Yeovil Town and Barnet is currently 0-0. As I say, they're all 7:45 kickoffs apart from the game at Loftus Road, and we'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening there. And then kickoff is coming up very shortly in the game between Rangers and PSV to qualify for the Champions League. It's 1-1 at Ibrox in the first leg. And we can head back to the Olympic Stadium in Munich as well. It's the men's and women's 100 metres finals this evening. Catherine Merry and Alison Kirbishley are there for us, as Dina Asher-Smith is looking to make it back-to-back European titles. As we said earlier, she missed the Commonwealths through injury, but Alison, there is no sign of that tonight.
No, absolutely not. There's no signs of a hamstring injury, but Daryl Neater is the one that lines up in the final as the fastest qualifier. She's the only woman under 11 seconds in the semi-final. We also have Imani Lansako up in there, making up a trio of Brits. We've never had 2 medals at these championships, but I think that will change tonight.
And Catherine, although there is British representation in the men's final, is the man to beat the Olympic champion, Lamont Marcel Jacobs?
100%. He starts in lane 6. He was the fastest qualifier with 10 seconds exactly. We have 3 Brits in there, Hughes, Prescott and Azu, but it's going to be tough to look past Marcel Jacobs. And just briefly, we've won a silver medal for Britain in the long jump. Jacob Fincham-Dukes has just jumped 8:06 and picked up another medal for the British team.
Already a good night. Catherine, Alison, for now, thank you very much. We'll be back with them very shortly for those finals. The men get underway at 9:15, the women at 9:25. And coming up at 10 o'clock tonight, Steve Bonds will be here, building up to an epic rematch between Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk on Saturday night in Jeddah. Before that, though, there is a huge 45 minutes to come from Ibrox. Rangers face PSV Eindhoven. Pat Nevin and Alistair Bruce Ball are there. Pat, given how Rangers performed in that first half, obviously the scoreline means that this is wide open, but Rangers and PSV have been very evenly balanced throughout that game.
Yeah, it was very hard to figure out before the game who were the favourites. I mean, our Dutch journalist friend asked him, he felt Rangers were. Most of the journalists in Scotland felt that PSV were the favourites. There's nothing much between them. And the one thing I would say about that, I think Rangers will say, we have nothing to fear here. If we play to our best, we can actually win this game. And you'll certainly win this game, if maybe not the tie. But they'll go in, and Van Bronckhorst will say, there was probably 30 minutes of that game, you were the better side, and they were the better side. And when they get wide, we said at the start of the game, they looked so dangerous. Kent's had a very, very good game. When Tavernier gets forward, he's obviously made the goal, but he looks incredibly dangerous as well. So, time to carry on, keep on being fearless.
Pat has said it's a huge 45 minutes. Do you think Rangers have to win this first leg, given the home advantage that they have?
Had's a big word. It'd be very, very preferable. Shall we say that? It's not going if they don't. It's not going if they don't.
Far preferable for Rangers to take a lead to Eindhoven in the second leg. Let's see if they can do it with Pat Nevin and Alistair Bruce Ball.
Second half just about to get underway. The noise levels didn't drop during half-time, by the way. They've still been at it all the way through the 15-20 minute break. Second half, PSV Eindhoven against Rangers. PSV in the red and white striped shirts with sort of blank white backs to them, black numbers on the back, black shorts and white socks with the red hoops around them, and they will play from left to right in this second half. Rangers in the light blue, white shorts, black socks with the red tops, playing from right to left. Thunderclap going on to our left-hand side, and PSV get us underway at 1-1. Just talking about Rangers' unbelievable home record in Europe. Over the last 4 seasons, played 32 games here, Pat, won 22, drawn 6 and lost only 4.
Yeah, that's superb. And considering, Rangers have been on a rebuild for quite some time, and they've changed managers in that time, and they've certainly changed a lot of personnel. It just shows you that this is an incredibly hard place to come.
Keep you updated on all the scores in the Football League as well as we go, as we were doing during the first half. Tavernier's thumped a high cross into the PSV penalty area, overhit it, bounces once, and behind it goes. And we'll have commentary on those 100-metre finals in Munich in the European Championships. The men's race starts at 9:15. The women's race starts at 9:25. John McLaughlin is the Rangers goalkeeper. Tavernier, Goldson, James Sands, Borna Barisic, the back 4. Stephen Davis in central midfield. John Lundstrom and Tom Lawrence either side of him. Malik Tillman, Ryan Kent either side of Antonio Cholak. Saibari with a left-footed curler, couldn't get it right for PSV, but actually took a deflection on the shot. It's gone well wide, but it's gone behind for a PSV corner.
I think Rangers are caught by surprise there, because Tezzi got the ball right back there, and he's played the most beautiful 50-yard ball right over the head of Barisic with inches to spare. I'll be honest, I didn't think he had it in his locker.
Pat Nevin with us here at Ibrox. Rain continuing to fall. Mansfield 3, Wimbledon 2. I think I'm right to say Mansfield were 2-0 down in that game. Now lead 3-2 in the second half in League 2. PSV have taken the corner short. Fearman plays it out to the left. High cross to the back post. Headed away to the edge of the Rangers penalty area. Stephen Davis does well to take it away from Sangare. Sangare gives chase. Davis plays it to his left, rolls it to Barisic, and Barisic's clearance is blocked by Luke de Jong and goes out for a throw into Rangers.
That's actually really clever there by Stephen Davis. I mean, maybe a few eyebrows raised by Stephen. You know, he's not the youngest player. You know, it's a big game, but you know, he wants to keep a hold of the ball. He doesn't want to just lump it, and there was no one else to find up front there, so he eventually plays it and keeps possession from a corner, from a throw-in for Rangers. Well played.
Newport 0, Salford 2, latest scoreline in League 2. Sangare chips it forward with his right foot, was caught as he played the pass. Pass went astray, and that's probably why. Wins a free kick 10 yards inside the Rangers half. Walter Benitez, the Argentine, in goal for PSV, who spent his last 5 seasons at Nice as the first choice keeper in Ligue 1, but has made the move this summer. Jordan Teze, right back. Philip Max is the left back, a 28-year-old German. Andre Ramalho, the Brazilian, alongside 23-year-old Armando Obispo, young Dutch centre-back in PSV's back four. Ibrahim Sangare, Ivorian international, alongside Joey Fearman and the Mexican Eric Gutierrez, Ismail Saibari and Cody Gakpo, either side of the formidable figure of Luke de Jong, PSV's captain and centre forward. Ball is loose inside the Rangers half. Tom Lawrence stumbles into it, handballs it, but was pushed into it, and so Rangers get the free kick. Ruud van Nistelrooy very clearly says that's a handball. How hasn't the decision gone our way?
Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy at the moment, his hand gestures here, he's always got his hand up. It's as if he's saying, pass it to me. Constantly.
It's a bit scrappy at the start of the second half. Another free kick given. This one's gone to PSV inside their own half. 3.5 minutes gone. Rangers 1, PSV 1. League 1 leaders Ipswich Town, my team, 1 up away to Burton. Marcus Harness has scored the goal. Barnsley leading Bristol Rovers by 3-0. I was reminding Chris Sutton at the weekend, I know Norwich are winning this evening, there was actually one place in the Football League ladder at the end of the weekend between Ipswich and Norwich. Another foul. Luke de Jong on Connor Goldson. Free kick Rangers.
I noticed you left it quite a long time to mention that. How many years has it been that?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Portsmouth 2, Cambridge 1, latest in League 1. Barisic on the ball for Rangers. Lundstrom turns it round the corner. Tillman lets it run cleverly. Cholak challenged by Obispo, and he gets the first yellow card of the evening. Good centre-forward play from Cholak, got his body in the way. Obispo came through him, and Rangers get the free kick. And actually, second half patch has been free kick after free kick at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, if you remember the first 10 minutes of the first half, you know, scrappy, didn't really have much of a rhythm to it. There was a lot of effort. Cholak, to be fair, I think he's won a yellow card there. I don't think it was a great deal in that. But then Obispo, what's he doing? You know, why dive in there? There's no need to dive in there at all.
Got a set piece to defend now. Rangers with Barisic, holds his right arm in the air, 45 yards from goal, left foot curler to the corner of the penalty area, headed away by Gutierrez, whose headband comes flying off, and he still has time to bend down and pick it up before getting himself ready to defend the next cross. That's coming in from Tavernier from the right-hand side. Cholak jumps for it, headed away. Saibari is there, volleys it with his right foot. Good leaping control from Barisic. Rangers fans enjoyed that. Neat pass to Stephen Davis, very nearly lost it in a dangerous position there. Luke de Jong was on top of him, and then Davis, as he tried to win the ball back.
No, the referee didn't think it was a free kick.
No, I was going to say, caught one of the PSV players who stayed down. Rangers now knock the ball out of play. Rangers fans are furious because they feel their team should have kept playing. I think PSV thought they might get a free kick for the Davis challenge, but they didn't.
I didn't think it was a free kick. Again, we don't have monitors here, but Davis had to lunge for the ball. He'd lost control of it for a moment, and had he lost the ball there, he wasn't getting back. There was no chance. He's not got the pace to do that, apart from the fact he's on the ground. Managed to lunge, get the ball. I don't think there was a great deal in that. I think the referee was right to let it play on, but good sportsmanship from Rangers. I'm not sure the fans are on side with that.
PSV will give them the ball back from the throw, you would have thought. Otherwise, you will hear a noise in a second inside Ibrox. Other goals going in the Football League. Crawley equaliser against Northampton 2-2. The applause because PSV have done exactly that. Stevenage now lead Rochdale by 2-0. And here's James Sands driving it forward with his right foot. Diagonal ball, chested down on the right by Tavernier. Threads the pass to Chola, hits the shot, rebound out, edge of the 6-yard box. Obispo is there to clear for PSV.
His movement's brilliant, Chola. For the goal, we know about it, but that movement there, inside forward movement, he's in an angle, but you know he's going to get it on target. You know he's going to get it at pace, make the goalkeeper make a save. It could have gone out to anyone. Really well done, Chola. Very little to do, but the best he's done have been brilliant.
That's another foul. Luke de Jong dragging back Connor Goldson. Connor Goldson is furious. Yeah, that's what he was asking for, Connor Goldson, because Luke de Jong has committed a few fouls like that in the game, and he's now been given the yellow card.
It's weird because he had an early one, dragged back, and Goldson was fuming about it. And Luke de Jong saying, what have we done wrong? Everybody in this ground knows what he's done wrong. You cannot drag players back like that.
He's back at PSV for a second spell, having rejoined from Sevilla. If you remember, a couple of seasons ago, played a crucial part in Sevilla winning the Europa League yet again. Scored a winner against Manchester United in the semi-final, scored 2 goals against Inter Milan in the final. Malik Tillman shoved to the floor, doesn't get the free kick. Actually, free kick given against him for handball as he fell on the ball, and PSV get a free kick inside their own half. Next break in play, we'll check in on the 100 this evening. That's been continuing. Manchester Originals against Welsh Fire, but the ball is through to Saibari, and he pokes it just wide. Good chance for PSV. It fell to him on the edge of the penalty area, worked it onto his right foot, went for a clever sort of toe poke, sort of Romario style finish, and just missed the target.
And he didn't look as if he was going to get it, McLaughlin, did he? The toe pokes are the hardest ones to read, but it was a really neat bit of movement. It was 2 versus 2, little head on, again a 1-2. Nothing Rangers could do about it. Again, like de Jong in the first half, Rangers they're sailing close to the wind in this one, but that's the Champions League qualifying for you.
Rangers 1, PSV 1. Right, Ataf Nawiz watching Manchester Originals against Welsh Fire. Atif.
Yes, thanks so much. A victory and celebration for the home fans here at Old Trafford as the Manchester Originals have sealed victory against the Welsh Fire by 47 runs. It's their first win in 4 attempts for the Manchester Originals. The Welsh Fire, on the other hand, have lost all 4 of their games in the men's 100 competition. But a good day for Manchester fans as the women's team won a little bit earlier, and that win's been mirrored by the men in the evening.
Thank you, Atif. Goal in League One in the game between Peterborough and Sheffield Wednesday. Sohail Sahi.
Peterborough 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. The goal was coming and it came from the right-hand side. Johnson Clark Harris finished it off. Superb header. Peterborough 1, 10-man Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Rangers 1, PSV 1. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Thrilling first half. Second half yet to really get into the same sort of rhythm. So much to play for these two teams playing for a place in the Champions League group stages. Tillman continues to run down the left-hand side, chasing Stephen Davis's ball. Obispo's there, plays it back to his goalkeeper. Benitez takes his time, clears with his left foot. Luke de Jong is often going to win those headers. No one to flick it onto. He felt he was fouled, didn't get the decision. And John McLaughlin, the Rangers keeper, side foots it to Connor Goldson. Goal at St Andrews, Kelly Summers.
Birmingham 1, Watford 1. Watford unbeaten coming in today, are level. It was a move down the right. Gaspar's initial shot was saved by Ruddy. It was right into the path of Ken Sema. He rifled it home to bring Watford level. Birmingham 1, Watford 1.
Rangers pressing high up on PSV. They panicked and given the ball away. Lundstrom and Stephen Davis exchange a quick 1-2. Barisic runs in after the ball went loose, back into his own half. Plays it across to Connor Goldson. Pat Nevin.
What Rangers want to try and do is get back to where they were in the first half, as you were saying. It's been it hasn't flowed at all in this second half. But that can happen in little periods again. But they know what they want to do. So far, Kent hasn't got the ball in the last third. And that's where they have a lot of joy in the first half. Tavernier's got the ball maybe once, twice in this second half. He still looked dangerous. But at the moment, they've done a decent job, PSV, at the start of the second half, making sure that those two key players are kept out of the final third, and that's key to them.
Throw in PSV inside their own half, wide on the left. 4 more Premier League commentaries coming your way this weekend. On Saturday, 3 o'clock, we're at Goodison Park for Everton against Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth Arsenal is our 5:30 commentary on Sunday. Paddleby at Ellen Road, fascinating game. Leeds against Chelsea. Paddleby alongside John Murray for that one at 2 o'clock. Newcastle Manchester City is our commentary at 4:30 on Sunday. Gutierrez down the line, pass played infield to Gakpo, moving at speed, has the beating of Goldson. He gets a yellow card for the challenge, but also PSV win themselves a free kick, possibly in shooting range here.
That is the one that I would completely disagree with the referee on. I think Goldson can't do anything. He can't get out of the way there. He's pretty static. He's not trying to make any challenge at the ball, but the player's running at pace, and he just thought, I'll stop now, and he runs into him. Yellow card comes out. Foul, maybe, but yellow card, very harsh on Goldson.
Oxford 1, Lincoln 2, latest in League One. There's been a red card at Ashton Gate. We'll get there shortly. Let's see what PSV can do with the free kick. First of all, Joey Fearman could strike it with his right foot. It could be the left back. Philip Max with his left foot. Fearman scored in both games against Monaco. In the previous round, he's very deliberately measured back 5 paces in his light green boots. Just clears each nostril rather delicately as he gets ready to take this free kick. John McLaughlin bouncing on his goal line for Rangers. Fearman looks up, whips it with his right foot over the crossbar behind for a Rangers goal kick. Chris Wise watching the action at Ashton Gate.
That red card is for Bristol City's Mark Sykes. Nasty lunge, sparked a melee, several players booked, but Sykes is off. Bristol City still leading Luton 2-0, 20 minutes to go.
Rangers 1, PSV 1 here at Ibrox. Ryan Kent, first time ball to Čolak, the goal scorer, the big Croatian centre forward. Fires it back to Lundstrom, holds off the challenge of Fearman, finds Stephen Davis, not a good enough ball. Gakpo read it and intercepts it. Davis comes across to try and tackle him. Gakpo goes down, the advantage is played, and then the referee goes back for the free kick after James Sands intercepted the pass forward.
Yeah, I think we can say that was quite smart by Stephen Davis. And he played a bad ball. It's unusual for Davis, but he had to make up for it. I think he would have taken a yellow card there, and I think he expected a yellow card, but he didn't get one.
No, I was just going to say, Pat, he didn't get one.
No, he didn't. Well, not yet.
No, exactly.
The referee's going to drag him across. No, the referee's not going for it.
No.
Just inside a yellow card. We'll get it next time if he does that again.
Yes. Stephen Davis done a good job in central midfield for Rangers this evening, and as you spotted again at half-time on the replays, Pat, it was his ball that released Tavernier for the cross for the goal. Jordan Teze, PSV's right back, a lot of space on the right-hand side, rolls the pass inside Bari first time, whips it over the bar, goal kick Rangers.
Not hugely dissimilar to Rangers' goal there, down the right-hand side. This time it's Teze. I suspect it wasn't quite the same quality of the build-up play, or indeed the pass in the middle, but it shows you at the moment Rangers living slightly more dangerously than they had been for an earlier period of that the latter period of that first half. They have to get back into the game. They have to get a little bit more control in the midfield. They've lost control of the midfield. But just the way this game's ebbed and flowed, you wouldn't be surprised if Rangers had another 10, 15, 20 minutes where they can be dominant again.
We've reached the hour mark in the game, half an hour to play, first leg of this playoff tie. Rangers 1, PSV 1. James Sands with a header, Connor Goldson with a double header. Gutierrez nods it forward for PSV. De Jong was lurking. Rangers have cleared it. Here's Tillman. Plays it back to Barisic. Barisic under pressure from Saibari. Can't find the pass down the left and just slices it out of play for a throw into PSV.
You just wonder, it's getting towards that time now, isn't it? Rangers not getting control of this game. And do they need some more legs, particularly in that midfield there? It must be on Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's mind. Can he add a little bit to the team?
Morelos has just come out to warm up for the first time in this half.
Thank you, Roddy. Roddy Forsyth sitting alongside us in the commentary position. So Morelos out warming up. Rangers 1, PSV 1. Off to Munich shortly as well. Men's 100 metres final first up in the European Championships. Kath Merry will talk us through it. PSV on the ball, under pressure from Rangers, working it out well up towards the halfway line. Gutierrez closed down. Last touch came off him. Rangers throw. Tavernier wants to take it quickly, can't go forward, throws it back to Davis, gives it back to Tavernier, chips it into towards Cholak, brings it down well, just muscled off it in the end. Kent runs in to try and win it for Rangers, and PSV are able to clear the danger with Teze into the last half hour of the game. Goldson heads the ball forward for Rangers. Rain is coming down heavily again here in Glasgow. Saibari in the centre circle across to Sangare. Now Gutierrez for the Dutch team. Philip Max, the left back, takes a touch, slips a little pass infield to Gakpo. Gakpo to Gutierrez, back to Sangare, poked forward into midfield to Gakpo. Now Saibari on the edge of the box, he's allowed to run! Shoot, and McLaughlin makes the save, closed it down. Really important intervention by the Rangers goalkeeper. Right, to Munich for the men's 100 metres final. Here's Kath Merrick.
The 1972 Olympic Stadium here in Munich. The Olympia Stadion is ready. The men's 100-metre final. Jan Volko of Slovakia goes in 1. Mohamed Ofal of France in 2. Zarnel Hughes, the defending champion, the second fastest qualifier, goes in 3. Sitru Ali of Italy goes in 4. Maurice Prescott from Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the third fastest qualifier, goes in 5. Lamont Marcel Jacobs of Italy, the Olympic champion, the European record holder, the fastest qualifier, goes in 6. Israeli Olatodi of Ireland goes in 7, and Jeremiah Azu of Great Britain, Northern Ireland goes in 8. There was a massive light show. The athletes were introduced individually, the camera focusing on Marcel Jacobs, the Italian, in 6. Qualifying was fast. We wondered what shape the Olympic champion was in, and he eased to a 10-second flat. Nearly 70,000 people on their feet for the men's European 100-metre final. Only 4 athletes have won this title more than once. Can Zarnel Hughes in 3 defend his title? The gun goes, it's a pretty even start. Jacobs out well in lane number 6. Zarnel Hughes running well in lane number 3. Marcel Jacobs, though, the Italian, he's going to take gold here. Zarnel Hughes is going to pick up the silver. 9.95 seconds for Marcel Jacobs. The Olympic champion becomes only the second Italian to win this title, and he picks up the gold here in Munich. It looks like the silver medal has gone to Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Marcel Jacobs equals the championship record of 9.95. The crowd go wild. Zarnel Hughes picks up the silver in 9.99 seconds. And we just wait quickly for confirmation of the bronze. Is it another medal for the British team? Jacobs gold, Hughes silver, Jeremiah Azu, a personal best of 10.13 for the bronze. Italy, Great Britain, Alistair, a brilliant race.
With you shortly for the women's 100-metre final in Munich as well. Still Rangers 1, PSV 1. Rangers in possession on the edge of their own penalty area, waiting to see if Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is going to make any changes soon. 18 minutes gone in the second half. They've given the ball away, though. Luke de Jong is going to lay it back to Eric Gutierrez. Rangers trying to get back here. Tom Lawrence is there to cover, and Philip Max has passed the ball straight out of play. It begs the question, Paddy, do you know what your quickest time ever was for the 100 metres?
If I did, I wouldn't tell you. That tends quite. I mean, some of the players that did get, really, close to 11s and things like that, but they're so specialist, these people.
Throw-in Rangers on the right. Bit of wind up in the stadium as well. Blowing this rain just underneath the roof onto our desk in front of us here. Rangers 1, PSV 1, and Rangers just lost their way in the game a little at the moment, Pat.
I keep on looking down at that bench and looking down at Van Bronckhorst. They're beginning to lose the game now. They're beginning to lose the midfield now. There looks like a tiredness. I think they need, a lot of the managers now are making 2 or 3 changes at a time. I think the Rangers fans can feel it as well. They're not getting up the field. They're not getting control of the game.
They're starting to give the ball away as well. Back to the game in League One, Peterborough, Sheffield Wednesday. Sahel Sahi.
Peterborough wrapped it up, Alistair. They lead Sheffield Wednesday by 2-0. Carbon copy of the first, across from the right, and a header from Jack Taylor this time. Peterborough 2, 10-man Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Roddy Forsyth.
Rangers fans were complaining on social media at the weekend that their team had not been granted the weekend off as PSV were. Yeah. PSV, we felt, were going to be the stronger team in the final quarter of this game.
Yeah, free kick Rangers inside their own half. Charlton 3, Plymouth 1. Portsmouth 3, Cambridge 1. Newport 1, Salford 2. Exeter 3, Wickham 1. Latest scorelines in the Football League at the moment. Newport 2, Salford 2. Charlton have a fourth against Plymouth, now leading 4-1. And as you just heard, Peterborough leading Sheffield Wednesday 2-0. Another goal at Carrow Road, Chris Coles.
A glimmer of hope for Huddersfield, down to 10 men, but they have a goal back. Norwich 2, Huddersfield 1. Substitute Pat Jones, really cool finish from the edge of the penalty area. An interesting 10 minutes ahead. Norwich 2, Huddersfield 1.
I think Rangers change is coming shortly. 25 minutes gone, 20 minutes gone, 25 minutes to go, I beg your pardon, in the second half at Ibrox here as the rain continues to fall. Rangers 1, PSV 1. Armando Obispo, the centre-back for PSV, goes sprinting up to the halfway line. 1-2 with Philip Mack. Stephen Davis still harrying around trying to win the ball back. Fearman just about keeps control of it, but the pressure from Rangers sees PSV make the mistake. They win the throw on the right.
Yeah, just looking at that midfield there that Rangers have got, you know, if one player starts losing a yard or so, everyone else thinks, well, wait a minute, I need to cover him. And that's what makes teams fall back a little bit. So that's why there's a concern. And you wouldn't be surprised that a little bit of energy in that midfield's added quite soon.
PSV looking the stronger team at the moment. Cody Gakpo challenged heavily by Tom Lawrence. Fair challenge, says the referee. Gakpo rolling around on the floor as Rangers bring it forward. Malik Tillman gets away from Sangari. Kent's in space on the left if you can see him. Tillman's going to shoot, doesn't hit it. He spilt it. Benitez very nearly fell to Cholak to smash it home from close range, and Benitez recovered just in time.
Look, it's brilliant play by Tillman. He does great to get away with 2 challenges. He goes forward, but he's got to slip the ball into Kent. Kent's on the left-hand side. He's in loads of space here. You draw the defender and you slip it through. All players at the top level know when to do it. They time it right. He didn't even think about it. And by the time he took his shot, he had no energy left. That was a real chance that was given up by Rangers there.
Portsmouth have a fourth. Portsmouth 4, Cambridge 1 in League 1. Good point made by Roddy as well moments ago. Weekend off for PSV Eindhoven this weekend. They've been allowed to rearrange their game against FC Volendam, which means they'll be fresh and ready for the second leg next week on Wednesday night. Rangers away to Hibs Saturday lunchtime. So the earliest kickoff possible for Rangers, but PSV getting the entire weekend off. Heading back to Munich shortly for commentary on the women's 100 metres final in the European Championship. PSV have given the ball away. Tillman was racing through, knocked off it by Saibari. There were covering defenders. It will only be a yellow card, but it's a free kick for Rangers, and it's a long way out, about 35 yards out in a central position. 1-1.
Well, we're beginning to get Tillman getting in some nice areas there. You know, he's breaking away from that midfield. So even though the deeper area of Rangers midfield looks as if it's getting a bit leggy, Tillman, he's actually getting there and he's breaking away into the space. So definitely a little bit of space developing for Rangers. So PSV are also getting tired.
Right, let's see what Rangers can work with the free kick, Roddy.
Right, it's just that before they do that, Wright and Kamara will come on to reinforce the midfield. I'm surprised Scott Arfield isn't in that bunch too, but they're coming on.
Scott Wright and Glenn Kamara. Scott Wright, who started that Europa League final against Eintracht Frankfurt back in May. Latest scores in the Championship: Birmingham 1, Watford 1, Bristol City leading Luton 2-0, Burnley 1, Hull 1, Norwich 2, Huddersfield 1. Norwich looking for a first win of the season. Preston 0, Rotherham 0 still. Swansea 2, Millwall 0, and Blackpool 1 up at QPR. That game kicked off at 8 o'clock. Right, free kick, long way out.
Surely not. He's not going to have a shot from there. It's getting 37, 38 yards out.
It could be one of those Ronaldo dippers. Can Tom Lawrence pull it off at Ibrox? If he does, you'll know about it. Through the wall. Oh, Benitez has spilt it. It's over the line. It's a horrendous mistake by the PSV goalkeeper. And somehow Rangers are in front. They can thank their lucky stars. He took a chance, Tom Lawrence. A big chance. He's got lucky. And Rangers lead PSV by 2-1.
The oldest one in the book. If you don't buy a raffle ticket, you don't win it. He's hit it there. It's bounced at least once, nearly twice before it gets to the keeper. He puts his whole body behind it. He must take his eye off the ball. It's straight arm, but it slithers like a bar of soap through his hand and dribbles painfully, if you're a Dutchman, over the line. You never thought for a second that was going to go in the net, but it did.
It was, for everyone inside the stadium, absolutely agonising slow motion as he let it slip and the ball slowly trickled over the line. and he couldn't get there to recover it. So Rangers leading PSV by 2-1. Back to Munich, the women's 100 metres final in the European Championships. Here's Kath Merry.
We've never had 3 women in this final before. Dina Asher-Smith defending her title in lane number 3. Lancico of Great Britain and Northern Ireland starts in 1. Dosso of Italy in 2. Asher-Smith coming back from injury in 3. Kambunji could be a threat. The Swiss athlete starts in 4. Daryl Neita of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the fastest qualifier, under 11 seconds. The UK champion goes in 5. Lukan Kemper from Germany in 6. Svoboda of Poland in 7. And Perez of Spain in 8. We've just had an amazing men's 100-metre European final. Silence falls again over the Olympic Stadium. Asher-Smith starts in 3, looking to defend her title. And Daryl Neita, her teammate, starting in 5, could be the one that could stop her defending the title here tonight. They're in the set position. It's another clean start. Asher-Smith gets out wonderfully well in lane number 3. Kambunji, though, the Swiss athlete, in lane number 4. Dina Asher-Smith was pulled up. She's gone. The Britons out the race. Daryl Neita in a dip finish, but potentially Gina Luckenkemper of Germany in lane number 6 with 11 seconds flat has taken the European title. Kambunji, the Swiss, in lane 4 was in the mix, as was Daryl Neita of Great Britain. A photo finish, Alison Kirbishley, is needed, but Asher-Smith pulled up injured after 30 metres.
Agony, Kath, absolute agony. Well, listen to the crowd, they're pleased. The German athlete has got onto the podium, but Dina Asher-Smith, we knew she was race rusty come here. We knew that she wasn't 100%. She is devastated.
Gina Luckenkemper is confirmed with the gold medal in 10.99 seconds. They're still going to sort out the minor medals, but on this occasion, Dina Asher-Smith is not on the podium.
Thank you, Kath. Back here at Ibrox, Rangers leading PSV crucially by 2-1. 18 minutes to play in the second half. Pat Nevin, what have you spotted?
Well, Cholak has had a coming together with centre-back at PSV there. Now, PSV centre-back, he was grabbing him, and he's fouled him maybe 3 times in a row. But there has been a reaction from him there. We've not got a replay here, so we can't actually see it. So they'll be checking that to see if he has done something off the ball.
OK, VAR will have a look at that. Latest scores elsewhere. Newport 2, Salford 3. MK Dons now have a second against Port Vale, lead 2-0. Charlton have a 5th against Plymouth. So loud in here, I didn't hear that last instruction. We're heading back to Munich, Kath Merry.
It's really loud in here as well, Alison. Let me bring you confirmation. Germany here in Munich are going wild. Gina Luckenkemper has been given the gold medal in the women's 100 metres, 10.99 seconds. Munjinga Kambunji of Switzerland has been given exactly the same time and silver. And Great Britain's Daryl Neita the bronze in 11 seconds exactly. Just 1/100th of a second separating the 3 medalists. Lancico ended up in 5th in 11.21, and Dina Asher-Smith failed to finish with injury. But a brilliant night for the Germans. They pick up the gold medal in this women's 100 metres, but another medal for the British team with Daryl Neita.
Thank you, Kath. We're having competitive live atmospheres here. Brilliant to hear it on the radio live at Ibrox. That noise in Munich as well for the European Championships. Rangers 2, PSV 1. First leg of this Champions League playoff round. Rangers looking for another. Taverniers cross. Cholak attacks it. Good header away by Obispo. Clearly, there wasn't too much amiss with the challenge from Cholak beforehand. Here's a ball into that PSV penalty area. Ryan Kent not able to get on the end of it on the edge of the box. Brought away by Saibari. Game is opening up here. Fearman curls a pass to his left. Huge roars because he's missed his target, and the ball goes straight out for a throw into Rangers.
What a difference. The game wasn't looking good for Rangers at all there. Then they get a free kick just about out of nothing. You thought there was no danger whatsoever. Maybe even a little dip in the decibels around the stadium.
Yeah.
And then they score the goal. The place is erupted again. A couple of fresh legs on in the middle of the field. Suddenly Rangers aren't thinking about anything else other than getting another goal. That's how they're thinking about it.
Stephen Davis and Malik Tillman were the players to come off, replaced by Scott Wright and Glenn Kamara. FC Copenhagen 2-0 up on Trabzonspor in the Champions League first leg playoff round tonight. And Bodo Glimt, remember them, who embarrassed Roma last season in Europe. They lead Dinamo Zagreb by a goal to 0. Incredible, thunderous noise continues around all 4 stands here at Ibrox. The rain continues to sweep across the ground. Some night again in European football here. But at the full-time whistle this evening, the job will only be half done. Rangers desperately wanting this lead. They lead by 2-1.
Enjoy the moment there. I held silence for about 10 seconds. And actually, it's just a little bit of fear there, just for a few seconds, because it's dangerous area now. The free kick's going to come in, and certainly PSV will put all the big men up there.
Free kick in the inside left channel, midway inside the Rangers half. Gakpo dummies to take it. The left back Philip Max goes high and deep to the far post. It bounces once. Luke de Jong hacks it back across goal. Goldson is there at the near post, lofts it up in the air. Sangare tries to get his body in the way. Ball goes across the face of the Rangers box, runs through to that left-hand side, curling ball to the far post, dangerous. Barisic heads it away, and Ryan Kent is there to swing a clearance away with his right foot from the edge of the box, and it comes all the way back to the PSV keeper. What is he thinking right now? And he is going to be getting pelters from those Rangers fans behind him.
I don't think they're going to let him forget it anytime soon. And by the way, he's also got the goal to be wearing an all-green jersey.
Celtic, of course, already in those Champions League group stages. Draw for those group stages a week on Thursday. Can Rangers get themselves in there as well? Leading PSV by 2-1. Mansfield 5, Wimbledon 2, latest in League 2. As those goals continue to go in, we will keep you updated, and PSV are getting ready to make a change. And interestingly, Jared Branthwaite, who's on loan from Everton, is looking to come on for PSV late in the game here at Ibrox. Clearance away is intercepted. Philip Max plays the ball back towards the halfway line. PSV bringing it forward, working it to the right-hand side. Here's Jordan Teze. Now out on the right is Saibari. Little boxer tricks the 21-year-old. Corner of the penalty area. Finds Teze. Teze with a little burst of pace. Heading for the byline. Oh, Barisic has to be careful with a challenge like that. Eventually, Rangers get it away. He did get a foot on the ball.
He had to be brave. He had to be good. He had to time it well. He did all three, but he took a chance there. Gets the ball out, and is that a corner kick? Yeah, it is a corner kick. And another moment where the Rangers fans will hold their breath.
Corner for PSV Eindhoven. Rangers 2, PSV 1. Giovanni van Bronckhorst has flipped the hood down. Rain continues to fall. Gakpo with the corner. Swings it in. There's the header. It's in. They're back level are PSV Eindhoven. Simple corner from Cody Gakpo. Obispo, the big centre-back, climbed highest, headed it in off the crossbar, and Ibrox is deflated. Rangers 2, PSV Eindhoven 2.
Just get feeling it's going to be one of those ties. Rangers had that little period there, but you knew they were going to be put under pressure. But the space and the time he got 6 yards out, I mean, that's quite unacceptable. Someone had to come out, maybe a goalkeeper, one of the centre backs, but he raised the header off the bottom of the crossbar when it went in. Nothing the keeper could do about that. And Rangers will have to go again.
So Jared Branthwaite is coming on. Obispo is now coming off. So how about that for a finish to the game for Armando Obispo? Off he goes. Jared Branthwaite, 20 years old, on loan at PSV from Everton, made his debut as a sub in extra time last week against Monaco in the 3-2 win. Comes on now. Rangers 2, PSV 2. The stadium's got to get going again from Rangers' point of view, and Rangers have got to get going again.
Yeah, well, they've done it before. They've scored a couple of goals already, and they know they're capable of doing it, but just that period before Rangers scored, they hadn't been doing that well. They got the goal, it lifted the crowd, it seemed to lift the players a little bit, but now they'll be deflated again. You can see they'll be deflated again, but they have to lift it. 2-2. Well, is that enough? Would that be enough? Certainly they do not want to lose another goal, Rangers.
Rangers 2, PSV 2. Remind you again, away goals been disbanded in the Champions League, so that means absolutely nothing. Full time at Carrow Road. Chris Coles.
Norwich up and running in the Championship. They've beaten Huddersfield 2-1. Goals from Josh Sargent and Daniel Sinani, the difference. Tom Lees was sent off for Huddersfield. They were severely hampered, but did get one back through Pat Jones, but not enough. Norwich up and running. They've beaten Huddersfield 2-1.
Just over 10 minutes to play here at Ibrox. Rangers 2, PSV 2. So Rangers stealing themselves, get on the ball inside the PSV half. Here's Glenn Kamara. Socks rolled down. Flicks a pass to his left. Barisic prompts the run from Lawrence. Lawrence tries to beat Teze on the outside. Teze says the throw-in will be mine. Referee agrees. Rangers fans not happy.
And they're not happy because they're correct to be unhappy. The last touch was Teze's there, but it happened at such speed the referee couldn't see it. We had a far better view than him.
Very close to it, right under our noses here. MK Dons 2, Port Vale 1. Late goal for Port Vale to make things nervy there for MK Dons in League 1. Rangers 2, PSV 2. How much are Rangers going to risk in the last 10 minutes of the game?
Well, you asked the question right at the start, how much would they risk? They have risked. They've asked their full-backs to go forward when they possibly could. They've tried to attack. When they were 2-1 up there, they tried to go forward, look for the third goal. I think they feel as if they have to be ahead when this, so they will keep on risking between now and the end of the game. However, as we've talked about already, there are a number of tired-looking Rangers players out there, and you just wonder the temptation. Is it worth bringing on Morelos, taking a chance?
Just going to ask you that, actually, Pat. We've not seen him as yet.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like one of those, but he is injured. He's not fully fit. And do you want to re-injure him again?
Yeah.
Because of such how important a player he is. But he does hold the ball up well, and he is a sniffer in the, in that last third, and he does cause all sorts of problems for any standard of player he plays against.
Doncaster have gone in front late on in League 2 against Stockport. They now lead 2-1. Crawley 2, Northampton 3. Late goal. Luke de Jong with a flick on. Gakpo bumps into Barisic, keeps it for PSV. They've got it wide on the right-hand side. They will also fancy their chances of grabbing a third. They will be the happier, obviously, with the 2-2. Second leg in the Philips Stadion to come next Wednesday. Here's Joey Fearman on the right. Saibari back to Teze across the face of the Rangers penalty area. Gakpo back to Gutierrez. Max is in on goal. Oh, McLaughlin off his line brilliantly to make the block. Wide open spaces in the Rangers penalty area. McLaughlin saves the day, and Rangers immediately sweeping downfield on the right-hand side. Scott Wright, was he pushed over? The referee wants to play the advantage. Ball to Tavernier. Tavernier in space on the right. Cross is deflected, and Rangers win the corner. 2-2.
Yeah, once again, big complaints end to end there. Super goalkeeping, you're right. You just wonder, had the striker just flicked the ball past him and taken the hit, he could have got a penalty kick. He didn't manage to do that. Well done, McLaughlin. Timed it perfectly, but then Rangers are up the other end there, and they get very close to getting a good cross in. However, they have got the corner kick. Can they do it to PSV what PSV have just done to them?
8 minutes to play plus added time. Rangers 2, PSV 2 on a raucous night inside Ibrox. Tavernier with the delivery into the near post. Headed away by Fearman. Straight back to Tavernier. Got support on the outside. Tom Lawrence whips the ball in. Took a deflection. Headed away to the edge of the box. Kamara misses his touch. Got support from behind from Tavernier. Cholak tries a speculative one from about 25 yards. Why not after the goal that Tom Lawrence scored from the free kick?
Well, they've hardly tested the keeper since then. He must be a little bit edgy after that. Zip in anything you possibly can bouncing in front of him and ask him that question again.
Rangers 2, PSV 2. Again, I'm going to have to ask for a repeat of the instructions there with the noise deafening here inside Ibrox. OK, I've got it. I'll take you to the Liberty Stadium in just a second. Let's do it now. Laura Kenyon.
Well, it's Swansea 2, Millwall 1. An own goal, it looks like. A ball into the box deflected by Ben Cabango into his own net. They've left it later. Swansea are on the counter-attack. But at the moment, it's Swansea 2, Millwall 1.
Ball loose inside the PSV half. They win a free kick. Full time at Ashton Gate. Chris Wise.
Bristol City have their first league win of the season. They've beaten Luton by 2-0, and Luton is still without one. First half goals from Naki Wells and Tommy Conway, and Bristol City played the last 22 minutes with 10 men after Mark Sykes sending off. Bristol City 2, Luton 0.
Rangers 2, PSV 2. Just over 6 minutes of the 90 to play. Gutierrez with his right foot. Plays it away to Philip Max, the left back, wins the header, nods it gently back, though gently forwards, I should say, to the Rangers keeper John McLaughlin. Full time at Turf Moor. That's Premji.
Burnley 1, Hull City 1. Ozan Tufan's run and shot for Hull, cancelled out by Jay Rodriguez in the first half. Burnley dominated the second, couldn't find a winner. Burnley 1, Hull City 1.
Oh, Rangers very nearly giving the ball away inside their own half. They have done so now. Teze pounces on it. Luke de Jong trying to play it back to Saibari. Ryan Kent is back there, took a knock in winning it back for Rangers. He's hobbling away. Then the ball is cleared out for a PSV throw on the right-hand side. Barrow Walsall full-time. Stephen Wyeth.
Barrow above Walsall and to within a point of the League Two leaders thanks to a 2-1 win. They scored twice from corners during a dominant first half through Tyrell Warren and Sam McClelland. Walsall's early second half goal from Danny Johnson, not enough. Barrow 2, Walsall 1.
5 minutes remaining at Ibrox. Rangers 2, PSV 2. Full-time in League One. Peterborough, Sheffield Wednesday. Sohail Sai.
Peterborough winning by 2-0. A good win then. Sending off in the first half was the turning point. The visitors, Reece James, shown a straight red for dangerous play. And then the two headers in the second half claiming maximum points for Peterborough. Full-time, Peterborough 2, 10-man Sheffield Wednesday 0.
97th minute goal for Colchester in League Two. They lead Bradford by 1-0. The ball is back here with Walter Benitez, the PSV keeper, a relieved man after the Obispo equaliser. Rangers really need to try and find a third goal if they can. 2-2, 5 minutes to play. Tavernier heads the ball away. 5 back by Scott Wright towards the byline. McLaughlin goes racing in to slide in and stop it going out for a corner. Tavernier helps him, clears up the right, flicked on by Kamara. Cholak still battling for the ball there, concedes the free kick. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, that's harsh on Rangers there, but they're trying everything, but you can see they are tiring just now. I mean, the last time they looked as if they were tiring badly. They went and scored a goal out of nothing, so let's hope that's the case there. But at the moment, the strongest side probably looks like PSV between now and the end.
2-2 here, another goal at the Liberty Stadium. Laura Kenyon.
My goodness, it's Swansea 2, Millwall 2. Tyler Bury puts the ball in the back of the net. They left it so late, just like they did against Coventry on Saturday, and the final whistle has now gone. It's Swansea 2, Millwall 2.
Free kick for PSV from halfway line. Deep. Oh, McLaughlin's dropped it on the edge of his box. No one around, though, from PSV to cause any danger. Rangers are going to go long and quickly. Lundstrom with his right foot up towards Kent. Kent's first touch takes him back to the halfway line. Plays it back to Barisic. Barisic to Sands. Sands across the face of his own penalty area to Connor Goldson. Goldson with his right foot again goes high and long down that right-hand side. Scott Wright gives chase. Cholak tries to win a 50-50, goes running into Philip Max. Both players fall over. Then cleared away by Ramalho for PSV, out for a throw into Rangers on the left. 2-2.
Yep, the Rangers have got the ball back in play very, very quickly there, and I think there's one or two Rangers players that wishes that wouldn't happen. Get a little bit of a break there, but I mean, they have worked incredibly hard, and just Cholak, which has very, very few touches, but it's the way he's trying to rough up the two centre-halves he's playing against, the effort he's put in, and it's tough to do that, very, very tough to do that when you're getting limited service.
Goldson with his right foot, long ball again down that right wing. Scott Wright jumps for it, cleared away by the Brazilian Ramalho up to the halfway line. Goldson goes leaping in, caught by Luke de Jong, who's on the yellow card. What's the referee going to decide here? Not sure.
He's given himself time to think, and I suspect he'll just give a free kick
to Rangers. Okay, checking at Deepdale, full-time, Aaron Paul.
Preston 0, Rotherham 0. Preston will wonder, Ali, how they didn't win this. They had Rotherham camped in their own half for the majority of the game, and despite hitting the post to Emil Rees and Brad Potts, they have to settle for just a point. Preston 0, Rotherham 0.
Take you to St Andrews shortly for the full-time details there from Kelly Summers. Let's see what Rangers can do with the free kick first of all, and Kelly Cates presenting the show tonight will get you up to date with all the scores, all the results in the Football League at the end of this game this evening. Not long left. Rangers 2, PSV 2. Tavernier with the free kick. Lofted one into the edge of the penalty area. Ramalho gets a header on it, only as far as Kent wide on the left. Kent to Lawrence. Lawrence tackled, hobbles away from the challenge. Rangers win the throw. Lawrence is still hobbling. Kent throws it to Barisic. Barisic rather tiredly runs it across to Sands. Sands across that halfway line to Tavernier. Tavernier's still got the pace and the energy. Gets away from Luke de Jong quite easily. Surrounded by a couple of other PSV players. Does brilliantly to win the throw. Takes the throw into Scott Wright. Again, surrounded by red and white shirts. Oh, is he caught? No, free kick goes the other way to PSV on the corner of their own penalty area.
Well, I can hear the surprise in your voice, and I'm with you on that one. I think the PSV player throws himself between himself and the ball. There is a coming together there, but I don't think the Rangers player was making any effort to foul him there, and I think it was right there over on the far side. And I think PSV bought a foul there in a very, very dangerous area.
How did Birmingham-Watford finish? Kelly Summers.
They finished Birmingham 1, Watford 1. Watford's unbeaten start to the season continues, but they had to come from behind. Teenager George Hall gave Birmingham the lead in the first half before Watford eventually drew level on 63 minutes. Ken Semmer's rifle strike deflecting beyond John Ruddy. Birmingham 1, Watford 1.
Just to remind you, Swansea 2, Millwall 2, full-time score. Late goal for Swansea, equaliser, then the full-time whistle blew. Rangers 2, PSV 2. Second leg next week in the Netherlands on Wednesday night, playing for a place in the group stages of the Champions League. Rangers did get themselves 2-1 ahead in this second half, pegged back to 2-2. Head tennis at the moment. Rangers have won a free kick.
Yep, and these are some of the most important Rangers minutes that they've had many, many years. They'll just about get the 90 minutes in a few seconds time, but lasting and not losing a goal now. If you go away 2-3 down, you suspect it's just going to be too big a mountain to climb. However, last these 3 minutes, or if possible, get a goal. And these could be, as these fans know, and as you can hear, could be the biggest minutes for years for this club.
Volume goes up to 11 once more. 3 minutes of added time. 2-2. Cholak battling for the ball. Tiny little shirt tug on him there inside the penalty area from Jared Branthwaite. Not enough to give a penalty, I don't think. He immediately released. Luke de Jong's gone down looking for a free kick on the halfway line. He's not going to get it. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Incredible noise inside Ibrox tonight. Rangers haven't quite been able to get it going in the second half. It is still 2-2. They're very much in this tie. Can they somehow find themselves a winner in the closing stages? Ball's played forward to Tom Lawrence, and Kent's run beyond him, and he's passed it straight out of play for a throw.
Oh, what a shame there, because Ken had made a brilliant run, and if he'd have spotted the run there, it was through. We'd have sort of 1 against 1, you know, with the centre back coming over, and Kent would have loved that, dragging the centre back out, but it didn't happen there, and that's a real shame. It was Romaglio as well. He wouldn't like coming out against 1-on-1 against Kent. Kent's had very few opportunities in this second half to run the defenders.
Lundstrom's lost it. Not too dangerously for Rangers. PSV have it just inside their own half. Philip Maxis giving it away. Scott Wright knocks it past him. Across comes Branthwaite. He's got it covered. Hoofs it with his left foot, almost into the second tier of the Sandy Jardine stand, which is opposite us here at Ibrox. 2-2.
What a player he was, I played against him.
Pat Nevin with us here at Ibrox. Football Daily, of course, going to be well worth a listen via the BBC Sounds app for you tomorrow morning. Ryan Kent skips in from the left-hand touchline. Great skills, what a dribble. Step over, beats 3 men, couldn't find the pass to Tom Lawrence. Teze brings it away for PSV. Lawrence chases, is careful not to foul him. Teze runs out of space, throwing for Rangers on the left-hand side. What a run from Ryan Kent.
And you've just been wanting him, I've been wanting him to do that all the way through the second half, but he hasn't got good ball in that last third. But it shows you, when he gets the ball and he can run it, players, no one in this team, this opposition team, can actually stop him. He looks fabulous just now, and good energy at the end of this game.
Right, 1 minute of added time to be played. Enthralling Champions League playoff tie, first leg here. Rangers 2, PSV 2. It's Rangers who are pressing, who are looking for a late winner. Goldson with his right foot plays it out to Tavernier. Tavernier chips it into Kamara, lays it back to Tavernier, moves in from that right hand side, nearly loses it, wins the 50-50. Kamara is tackled, it runs to Goldson. Goldson down the right to Scott Wright, who went for the cut back to Kamara. He's given the ball away. 30 seconds to play. Here's Saibari for PSV, slowing things down, keeping the ball, tries to knock it past Barisic, wins the throw. PSV look happy with the 2-2.
Wright's got to cross that. He's just got to cross that. He's got himself out in the white right there. There's about 5 blue shirts in the middle there. Just swing one in and top of the goalkeeper. Did not ask him a question since he threw one in.
Throw in for PSV. We've now played the minimum of 3 minutes of added time. Sangare's gone down with a little bit of cramp. Antonio Cholak is about to try and help him to his feet. PSV will take the throw, and then I think shortly after that the full-time whistle is going to blow. Ball is played out by Fearman away to that left-hand side. Goldson heads it forward. Kamara trying to win it inside the Rangers half. That is that here at Ibrox. Good friends, former teammates, share a big hug. Giovanni van Bronckhorst and Ruud van Nistelrooy. They will do it all again in the Netherlands next week, and they will start the second leg of this Champions League playoff tie at 2-2. Rangers got themselves in front in the second half when unbelievably Walter Benitez, the PSV keeper, spilled a Tom Lawrence free kick. They couldn't hold on to the lead. Obispo with the header from the set piece, and they'll have to go next week and take it at 2-2, Pat Nevin.
They will have to go next week. I mean, it was a great effort. I was going to say for Rangers players, but for both sets of players, it was very, very good. It was an entertaining game. That didn't feel like 90 odd minutes. That felt like about 35 minutes there. It was so much entertainment. Not maybe enough goal chances created by Rangers. I think they can improve, and I think as the season goes on, they will improve. But I think they need a few more options. I think if they could get Morelos back to be at best form for the second leg, which they may well have, that might give them that little bit of extra spurt. But as we leave the Ibrox Park tonight, I think we now know PSV are now just slight favourites, and I don't even think the Dutch would disagree with that.
Quick thoughts from Roddy Forsyth.
Rangers will feel they'll look back on the past season and they'll think, we went to Dortmund and scored 4 goals, we went to Leipzig and won, we're capable of doing it in Eindhoven. The only problem they'll have there is corner kicks. 5 corner kicks, 2 goals.
Good point. It's all over here at Ibrox. The PSV players marching towards that little pocket of noisy, but you just couldn't hear them tonight inside Ibrox. PSV fans and the Rangers fans being warmly applauding their players as they leave the field. Great game, 4 goals in it, couldn't be separated. Rangers 2, PSV 2.
Thanks, Ali. And Pat, we will look at the game in a sort of broader context in a minute, but you talked about the options that Rangers could have for the second leg, whether or not Morelos would be fully fit. You're surprised we didn't see him towards the end of this one?
I can only say there can only be one answer to it. He must still be injured. And I know he is injured, but if you've got him on the bench and it's this tight near the end, give him 5 minutes. On the other hand, maybe he's looking at, the problems that Cholak was causing, Physically, he's a big, strong lad, and he was upsetting the defenders he was playing against. And if you bring on Morelos, who's a much more natural goal scorer, one of the best natural goal scorers around, certainly in Scotland, but maybe even in the UK. If you bring him on and he does the injury again, you could ruin the whole season for him. So it's that more than anything else. But they will be praying and hoping that by the second leg that he's at least capable of playing a half of football for them, because they'll need to score in this next leg. They'll need to, because I don't see, Roddy mentioned the fact that they give away the 2 goals there from the corner kicks. There were a number of chances created against Rangers. I don't see them keeping a clean sheet, so they will need to have goal scorers on the pitch and on the bench. And Morelos, big one for him, but he surely must be injured still.
And Roddy, as Pat said at half-time, it's not quite that Rangers had to win this, it's just that it was very much would like to take a lead to Eindhoven for the second leg of this one. Is this still very much open for Rangers? Is qualification for the Champions League group stages for the first time since 2010-11? Is it still on for Rangers?
It's a 40 million quid incentive, isn't it? And as I mentioned, they won in 2 cases on formidable Bundesliga grounds last season, so they'll feel that they have that in their locker. That said, they don't have Calvin Bassey and Joe Aribo, who were influential players for them last season. They're still gelling, and of course there's that weakness at corner kicks, which was picked out. It's been picked out before by teams, but in this case PSV had obviously done their homework, and it will be alarming. Don't forget though, it's a 40 million quid bonus and parity with Celtic if Rangers can prevail in the Netherlands.
Yeah, there is all of that at stake for Rangers. On tonight's performance, though, Pat, I know, as you said, by the way, we do need to point out that your mystic skills, because you said before kickoff, these conditions could be testing for the keepers. They were certainly testing for Benitez.
I know, I wouldn't have thought it would have been quite that bad, though. I'll be honest with you. It was a dreadful piece of goalkeeping. I mean, one of those ones, it's so bad you think he's looked at it and thought, oh, this is easy, and taken his eye off it. I mean, it was just zipped in front of him, and yes, and it did spill through him, and it affected a number of players. A few players slipping around, and these pitches are very, very hard these days. The hard, hot weather we've been having, so it leaves it in an unusual condition, and the players really weren't quite used to it. So yes, it had an effect on it tonight, but I wouldn't think it was the most important thing about it tonight. The most important thing about it tonight is Rangers come away with this. I think beforehand they wondered if they were going to be good enough, but Roddy makes a great point. The teams that Rangers beat last year on the way to the Europa League final, they shouldn't be fearless. They aren't fearful of anyone. They know that they can go out, they can do special things. And away from home, okay, they're not going to have that noise behind them, but they know they've got the capabilities. And I think they would have seen a few weaknesses tonight. I think certainly in the fullback areas, both fullback areas, I'm not saying they're bad fullbacks, but in the wide areas, Rangers were better, and they got forward in good areas, and there was good intelligence. I don't think they had the strength and the fitness near the end of the game, but another week under your belt can make a huge difference as well. So, you know, when there's that incentive ahead of you, you look at it and say, we need to do something magical, we need to do something special. But then that's what you need to do to get in the Champions League group stage. You know, they don't give this away. There's a reason why it's so highly rated. They're not write it off yet, and I'm certainly not writing Rangers off yet.
No, and either way, we're looking forward to that second leg, given what we've seen at Ibrox this evening. So it finished Rangers 2, PSV Eindhoven 2. Lots more reaction to this on the Football Daily podcast, which you can, of course...